Good evening and welcome to Falcon Media Sports Network hockey pregame coverage. I'm Nate Hinners here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio at the Killeen Center, joined tonight by Nathan Burkett.
Hello.
And maybe Holden Ruck.
We'll have to wait and see.
If he's listening now,
hi, Holden.
Drive faster.
I don't care if there's ice on the roads. Drift. It's fun.
It'll get you there faster.
Yeah. I enjoy driving on icy roads, actually.
Well, I can't say that, but yeah, so we're getting ready for our pregame show. By the way, Falcons up in Bemidji State tonight, and Ben Korak was saying, it's cold here, just hovering around 0 degrees right now here in Bowling Green. He was saying up there the temperature is like negative 20.
But the real feel is also around negative 20, so there's not much wind.
Yeah.
Controversial opinion, I would be fine in 20-degree weather with just like hoodie and shorts on.
20-degree or negative 20?
Negative 20. If there's like no wind, I'll be fine for at least a little bit.
If you're out there in shorts and a t-shirt, you're not going to be able to feel your legs much longer.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have to get
That's fine as long as there's no wind.
Okay, coming up, we'll talk more about tonight's game. We'll talk about the Falcons and Bemidji State. That's coming up next here on the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show.
This is Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. Like, follow, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter feeds for access to special content, program and DJ information, and so much more. Return to radio freedom with WBGU on 88.1 FM and online social media profiles. Thanks for listening to WBGU Bowling Green, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live. For the better of myself, my family, my weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
BGSU Gymnastics seeks their first win of the season as the Falcons head east to Ithaca, New York on Sunday, January 25th. To compete in the Cornell Quad Meet, head to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network pre-match coverage as the Falcon hockey team up in Bemidji State, Minnesota to take on the Beavers tonight. By the way, puck drop coming up here at 8:07 our time, 7:07 Central Time up there. So let's start off with talking about the Falcons. They're coming off pretty much like a tie series last weekend, beating Lake Superior State on Friday night and then getting it lost to them on Saturday. Friday was a 3-1 win, Saturday a 1-0 loss. So going into tonight's matchup, how did the Falcons look?
They look good. They've played really well since coming back from winter break. They started off with an exhibition win over the U.S. developmental team. Then you lose in the shootout, but goes down as a tie because it's non-conference against Ohio State. Then you win a game against Ohio State, sweep Ferris State, win the first game against Lake Superior, and then the second game they lose, mostly out of their control just because Rourke Appleby played like prime Dominic Hasek. So what are you going to do in that situation? But so going into this game, they're fourth in the CCJ standings. They're on a roll. They've been playing really good. And their opponent, Bemidji, hasn't been playing as well. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak. Been swept by Michigan Tech and St. Thomas back-to-back weekends. They've fallen to 6th place in the CCJ standings, and they have not won a game in regulation since November 22nd when they beat Northern Michigan. So BG seems to be, other than that last game where they fell mostly just because they were playing such a good goaltender, they seem to be on a roll, but Bemidji seems to be on a little bit of a skid. Should be a good game for the Falcons.
And speaking of goaltender, Cole Moore back in action tonight on the starting lineup for tonight's match.
Yeah, he's played good in the second half of the year. Struggled early on. got the starts against Ohio State, played really well in that series. Started one of the games against Ferris State, played well. Played well in his game against last Friday night against Lake Superior. Started on Friday night, got the 3-1 win. So Cole Moore getting another start should be another solid game for him.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so you're saying Bemidji State been struggling recently. Falcons, I mean, not too bad of a season so far.
Yeah, they, as I mentioned, 4th place in CCHA standing. So if this was it, if they didn't play this game, if this was the first round of the playoffs, they would have home ice advantage. Last week they moved up over Minnesota State. So, and another thing to keep in mind is that the current CCHA standings are very close. There is a 11-point difference between first place, which is St. Thomas, and 6th place, which is the Beavers. So right now, BG is 6 points out of first place. So there's a world where if they sweep the Beavers this weekend, and if St. Thomas loses both their games, different stuff happens, BG could be tied for first at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, that'd be a big deal for them. All right, coming up, we will take a look at what else is going on around the CCHA this evening, what's happening around Falcon Athletics this weekend. The snow kind of changing our athletic schedule, so we'll talk about that coming up next here on the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is Meyer Wohl. The junior forward led the team with 25 points in the win over Eastern Michigan on Saturday. The North Carolina native averaged 22.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game while shooting 53.3% from the field and 55.2% on three-pointers in the past 4 games. Wohl had 2 20-plus point games against Lemoyne and Bethany and is 4th in the MAC in three-point percentage with 47.4%. We've got a whole bag of tricks for him and will continue to grow that package of offensive plays for him. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Did you know that pet stores obtain bearded dragons from a massive breeding warehouse in Xenia, where around 15,000 of these lizards are kept in row after row of barren plastic tubs? A whistleblower saw desperately thirsty dragons deprived of water and severely injured animals left to suffer without care. That same person also found dead dragons by the dozens. Always adopt, never buy animals, and don't shop at stores that sell them. Go to PETA.org to learn more.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Here's that song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today. Here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray, cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
BGSU men's basketball travels 30 minutes north to battle the arch-rival Toledo Rockets in the first leg of the Battle of I-75 at Savage Arena on Saturday, January 24th at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network Tyler Cavaletz, Artie Abrego, and Foster Rossi will have the call of the game, while Nate Henners and Sam Bork will start the action with the pregame show at 4:35 p.m. on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network pre-match show for tonight's hockey matchup as the Falcon hockey team up in Bemidji, Minnesota, taking on the Bemidji State Beavers. Puck drop coming up tonight in just about 15 minutes. 15 minutes or so. 8:07 puck drop with that. Before we get to that, though, let's take a look at what's going on around the CCHA this evening. Of course, with that later start time, some games already in action. At the end of the first period, Michigan Tech is leading Northern Michigan 3-0. Also at the end of the first, Lake Superior State is up against St. Thomas 3-1. So again, Michigan Tech up on Northern Michigan 3-0. And Lake Superior State up on St. Thomas 3-1. Both those matches at the end of the first period. Of course, ours is coming up here in an hour. So those three, our match and two others, are what's going on around the CCHA this evening. And with those two matches having an hour kind of advantage start time, we'll be able to keep track of those to the end during our broadcast tonight. Taking a look at what else is going on around Falcon Athletics this weekend. Nothing else going on today. Tomorrow, though, women's basketball is playing at 11 a.m. up at UMass, and kind of due to that incoming winter snowstorm we're supposed to get, was originally supposed to be on Sunday evening up in UMass, but it got moved to tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. You can catch that matchup on Falcon Radio. Also on Falcon Radio tomorrow, a pretty exciting matchup. The Battle of I-75 for men's basketball up at Savage Arena. Tip-off for that at 5 o'clock, and you can also listen to that on Falcon Radio. So both women's basketball and men's basketball on Falcon Radio tomorrow. Again, women's 10:35 pregame tip-off at 11 o'clock, and that's against UMass. At 5 o'clock tip-off, 4:35 pregame for Toledo. And again, both those will be on Falcon Radio, which you can listen to on bgfalconmedia.com. And then, of course, going on tomorrow evening as well, the second match of this hockey series against Bemidji State. Puck drop for that tomorrow night is at 7:07, so more of a normal time. A bit of it. But yeah, 7:07 puck drop for that. Pregame coming up around 6:35, 6:40 here on WBGU 88.1 FM. So basketball and Falcon, hockey on WBGU. Also going on tomorrow, women's track. They're up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, taking on Eastern Michigan in the Bob Parks Memorial invite. Women's track again going on tomorrow. Women's tennis also in action tomorrow in Indianapolis, but that one has actually, never mind, that one has been canceled. So no women's tennis tomorrow. Sunday right now, there are events scheduled for Sunday. We'll see if they happen, but there is scheduled to be gymnastics up in Ithaca, New York. And actually, never mind. Those have been canceled as well. So no gymnastics or no women's tennis this weekend. Just right now, women's track still on the schedule up in Ypsilanti, and then also both basketball teams and hockey playing tomorrow as well. So Sunday got the day off for Falcon Athletics because of the winter storm, and we'll see how that affects games coming up within the next week because
rescheduling.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean, I was just looking at the forecast before. Of course, Sunday's supposed to be really bad, but going into Monday, too, I know we don't have anything for Falcon Athletics on Monday, but, you know, if other schools are affected by that. And then, of course, on Tuesday, men's basketball is in action over at the Stroh Center, and women's is in action on Wednesday, also at the Stroh Center. So 2 games in town on Tuesday and Wednesday, depending how well the snow cleanup is, especially around the whole United States where this is like the snowstorm is hitting. Just see how that affects everything.
I saw on Twitter today, so take this with a grain of salt, that between Minnesota to Florida, there's a 144-degree difference in real field temperature. So,
yeah, I don't know. I just know we're getting a lot of snow. It's cold
it's
here.
Cold.
Just the weather. Cold here, getting colder. Got snow. It's cold next week, so
big snowstorm coming.
Yeah, you know what? Like I was asking Ben Korak, I was like, is it even colder up in Minnesota? Because like it feels so cold up here, but he said it's actually colder up there.
The possibility of exploding trees in Minnesota this weekend. So Ben Korak will have to watch out for those.
Yeah. All right, coming up, we will have our Falcon 4 keys to the match. We'll also take a look at some athletes to watch for our Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Match. Keep it here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games. After a 12-0 start to the season, the best start in over 50 years, the BGSU Falcons swim and dive team saw their first loss of the season on Friday, January 16th against the Ohio Bobcats. For the Falcons, Natalia Mayorga led the team in diving, Caroline Toledo got second in the 1,000-yard freestyle, and Grace Bodrock got second in the 200 butterfly. However, such great performances were not enough from the Falcons to overpower the Bobcats, losing 56 to 244. That was a rough one for us, but OU is a top program in the MAC, head coach Tanner Barton said. The Bobcats finished third in the MAC championship last year. In their next match, a duel versus Marshall and Duquesne, the Falcons saw 2 more losses, dropping 101.5 to 139.5 to Duquesne and 105 to 136 to Marshall. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
It certainly is a big radio.
It's a very big radio.
A big, fluffy radio.
A very big, fluffy radio.
Where's the blues? Some radio stations give you a lot less blues on a big, fluffy show.
Where's the blues?
At the Blues Breakfast, we serve up a show we modestly call a single. And the Blues Breakfast show plays more blues than the Whopper or the Big Mac. On the Blues Breakfast, you get more blues with less fluff. So tune in to 88.1 every Saturday morning from 10 till 2.
Where's the blues?
I don't think anybody's in there.
Falcon women's track and field heads to the Great Lakes State on Saturday, January 24th at noon to compete in the Bob Parks Memorial, hosted by Eastern Michigan at Bowen Fieldhouse in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Rugg.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network pre-match coverage. Just about 10 minutes away now from puck drop, even less than that now. You're listening to WBGU FM in Bowling Green, Ohio. Nate Hinners joined by Nathan Burkett here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio at the Clean Center here on the campus of Bowling Green State University. You know, pretty quiet out on campus this evening. Just got some Starship robots moving around. They're probably going to be pretty busy this weekend delivering food to people who do not want to go outside. In case you don't know, those are like the little robot delivery people. So, not people, like just delivery robots that are kind of creepy. At least I think they are.
I like them.
I don't.
They're like mini dogs with wheels who aren't
the
at
main
all
dogs
like dogs.
who got
aren't
in
at
front
all
of your
like
car.
dogs.
All right. Nathan, you're some players you are watching heading into tonight's matchup against Bemidji State.
Absolutely. Starting off with Bemidji. Major player they're going to be missing is Oliver Pure. We're assuming he is out with an injury. He leads the team in goals. He will not be in tonight's matchup, but Adam Fomang leads the team in points. He has 18 assists, 6 goals, 24 points, leads the Beavers. Has not scored a point in the last 4 games, so he's going to be looking to get back on the score sheet. Another player I'm going to be looking at is Casper Magnuson. He currently is 3rd on the team in goals, 3rd on the team in points. So in Oliver Pierce's absence, he'll be looking to step up. For the Falcons, I'm going to have my eye on the defensive core. All of them are going to have to step up. We'll talk about them later when we get to our keys to the win. But all the defensive core is going to have to step up. Specifically in my mind tonight, I'm going to be having my eye on Braden Crampton, a guy who leads the team in shots on goal. He's going to need to step up tonight, create a lot of scoring chances for the Falcons. And then finally, I'm going to go with Jaden Grant. Jaden Grant currently tied for the Falcon lead in goals. He also has a nose for the net, knows how to score the dirty goals on rebounds, scores from the slot a lot. BG and Bemidji in the 6 games since Coach Williams has taken over this Falcon roster, all of the games they've played against each other have resulted in 1 goal differences. 5 of those 6 games went to either overtime and or shootout. So in that kind of game, we were playing in a close game, which we're assuming is going to be another close game. You need to score the 30 goals when they come to you. Jaden Grant's the best at that on this Falcon team, so I'll be looking at him.
All right, there you go. Coming up, you'll have your Falcon 4 keys to the game or keys to the match. That's coming up next here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You know, I feel so good. Well, I feel so good. You know, I feel so good. I feel like ball and jack.
The goal of the Blues, and especially of the Blues Breakfast, is to make you feel good. So tune in every Saturday from 10 to 2, and you'll feel so good, you'll feel like balling the jack too.
You know, I got dead aim. You know, I feel so good. You know, I feel so good. You know, I feel so good. I feel like ball and jack.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bowling Green women's basketball hosts Akron at the Stroh Center on Wednesday, January 28th at 7 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Trey Kennedy and Carter Leonard will have the call on WBGU 88.1 FM with Sam Bork and PJ Aubrey hosting the pregame, halftime, and postgame show for the matchup starting at 6:35 p.m.
Starting to wrap things up for our Falcon Media Sports Network pre-match show just about 3-4 minutes away from puck drop up in Bemidji, Minnesota. So before we hand things on out to Ben Korak, Nathan, your Falcon 4 keys to the match.
For the first one for the Falcons, it's going to have to be playing through injuries. Tonight they have 3 players out due to injury. Noah Murnau, who's missed a couple of games since the Ferris State series, Adam Zlunka, and then the biggest name who got hurt last weekend against Lake Superior is going to be the captain, Dalton Norris. Dalton Norris, as well as providing leadership for this team as the captain, he provides offense. He provides good defense. He's playing for the 5-on-5, the penalty kill, the power play. Every facet of this Falcon hockey team, he's involved in some way. So the entire defensive core is going to need to step up, as well as the forward core, to make up for those 2 forward injuries. But especially tonight for the defensive core, they're going to need to step up in order to help negate the effects of losing their captain and a strong player. Another one is going to be scoring the goals when they are available to you. As I mentioned earlier, since Coach Williams has taken over this Falcon hockey team, of the 6 games they've played against Bemidji, all of them have been 1-goal games. All of them, or 5 of the 6, have gone to a overtime and/or shootout. So when you're constantly playing these really close games, when you get the opportunity, when you get those strong opportunities, when you get a good opportunity, you have to finish it. You cannot let opportunities go to waste. For Bemidji, I would say they need to do whatever it takes to get out of this skid they've been on. Again, losing 4 straight, have not won a game in regulation since November 22nd when they beat Northern Michigan. You got to do whatever you can to get out of this situation. And finally, I'm going to say goaltending. Hillebrand for Bemidji, Cole Moore for Bowling Green. Both goaltenders will be looking to give their teams good opportunities to win tonight.
All right. Thanks Thanks for that, Nathan. We'll be back with you guys coming up at our first intermission report, the Rick Crow first intermission report. So we'll talk to you guys then. Time now to hand things on out to Bemidji, Minnesota with Ben Korak for tonight's matchup. Hey, Ben, how's it going up there?
It's a bit warmer inside than it is outside. Thank you, Nate and Nathan, back in the Cooling Center studio, running through our pregame show. The Falcons and the Bemidji State Beavers here in the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. A nice balmy -19 right now, says Apple Weather, and it certainly feels like every negative degree of that -19. We're inside. We're playing a hockey game today, and a very influential one for both of these games, as they well highlighted in the pregame show. The Beavers are winless in their last 8 games played, 0-6-2, and they have a 4-game straight-up losing streak coming off of a pretty poor weekend against St. Thomas. 5-1 loss in the first game and 3-2 loss in the second. The Falcons otherwise have been playing pretty good hockey, and they've only taken a loss their last game. That was in a 1-0 loss, and that on the heels of a great game played by Rourke Appleby in net for Lake Superior State, and just a 1-0 win for the Lakers. The Falcons back behind their goal, the puck behind goaltender Cole Moore back in the crease for the Falcons today. Puck behind the goal line, played away to the left wing side. Hudson Thornton, he ranges in, pokes it back into the corner for Riley Funk to chase. The first line starting for Bemidji. Casper Magnuson on the left wing, Riley Funk down center, and Adam Flamang down the right wing. That's the highest scoring line that they have right now, almost 60 points on the season, 59 for those 3 players. Back up to the blue line, Mitch Wolf with the puck. He fires it in from his defensive position. It caroms to the right side of the goal, played back up by Bemidji. Slap shot coming, save made by Cole Moore. The wraparound try, and it misses Max Nemesnikoff on the back door. Falcons ranging ahead. Here's Quinn Emerson and try and win the race to the puck, but he's beaten by Mitch Wolf back skating. That was a dangerous chance on the other end by Connor McLennan against Cole Moore, and a quality save there by the junior goaltender. Ty Higgins, his shot in. A little bit of traffic in front, but easily gloved and held by Max Hildebrand, the freshman. Played for Prince Albert last year in the WHL. That's his first save of the game, and just over a minute expired. We still have a 0-0 game. The Falcons, who are now off the ice, but the starting lineup, Ben Durant, Tyler Hodson, and Quinn Emerson, Jackson Niedermeyer, and Braden Crampton back on the defensive end. And again, the junior Cole Moore back in net for the Falcons. Puck rinked down. Issa Parek with that shot, and it's going to force an icing against Bemidji. Another ozone drop for the Falcons. Jaden Grant is going to head into the circle. Grant has been an absolute force in the circles for the Falcons the last couple of games. He's been taking draws all over the place, and especially in crunch time situations. 16-7 and 14-7. That was his face-off win to loss in the last series played against Lake State. An incredible ratio for the senior alternate captain. 220 to 167 on the season. Wins this one back. The Falcons have the puck in their own zone, but a turnover at the blue line. Held in by Silvestri. The centerman takes it left wing. Shot in by Nemesnikov. And it's gloved and held onto by Cole Moore. Bemidji back into the offensive zone within the first 2 minutes of the game, and they've tried to keep the puck there the whole time. The Falcons have been dangerous. They've been able to keep the puck in the offensive zone, as they'll try to do again today, trying to remedy that shutout that they fell victim to against Lake State. Falcon Media Sports Network picked the stick today. 2 points for a goal, 1 point for an assist. 4 members choose a player before the game starts, as Irie sends this one top right and wide. Blocked back out to the blue line. Max Vieg with the puck. Irie with the slap shot in. Knocked down with traffic in front, but McLennan has to circle the puck. Another shot by Irie on the left wing side and off of a Falcon blocker and up into the netting. Our Pick the Stick selections today. Lucas Kleinmeyer, who is in Massachusetts, the Falcon women's basketball team, playing UMass. And he is up there with a game that changed from Sunday, I believe, at 3 p.m. And now it is tomorrow at 11 p.m. So he wasn't too happy last night when he was told at 9 o'clock that he was going to have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, 11 a.m. I apologize, but he had to leave at 3:30 in the morning to grab a flight and go out to Amherst. Certainly not fun, as there's a hand pass against the Falcons, and the puck will redrop to the right of Cole Moore in the Falcon end of the ice. Lucas Kleinmeyer chose Quinn Emerson, and Emerson's been leading point scorer for the Falcons this season, 25 points on 18 assists and 7 goals. 2 minutes for delay of game. It's going to go against Connor Levis, and Bemidji State's going to go on an early power play. Power play almost 18% on the season for Bemidji State. The Falcons penalty kill 84%. The power play for Bemidji has not been stellar. The Falcon penalty kill has kept them in a lot of games. Bemidji 6th in power play. And the Falcons, one of the top 2 teams in penalty kill, and they've been alternating for that top spot throughout the season. Thornton gives it up. Bemidji State on a power play. Back up to the blue line. Played to the left wing side by Connor McLennan. Down to the goal line. He feeds it back up to the blue line. Thornton to the right wing side. Bemidji still trying to put together their first shot on goal in this power play. Slap shot blocked by the Falcons. Back up to the blue line. Thornton holds it in. And a D-to-D pass to Magnuson. Magnuson forces it down deep. Max Nemesnikoff, the freshman, has to wrap it around. Turns it back over to Niedermeyer. And it's nicely cleared by the Falcons. Niedermeyer and Braden Crampton, the tag team on that clearing attempt. Thornton retrieves the puck his sophomore season. Coming off of his last season he played with the Orlando Solar Bears in the Coast League. Down behind the goal line, he feeds it in. Simonovic pins the puck up. Brett Fall on the left wing side. He's able to keep the puck in. Bemidji State is back up to the blue line. It's cleared down. Chasing it down is Connor McLennan, and Bemidji will have to reset. Under a minute to go in the power play. Thornton pokes it in. McLennan to chase. Simonovic will get back there behind the red line and clear it down again. A nice goal line clear by Simonovic, and the Falcons will change. .40 seconds to go in the power play. Bemidji State, Bowling Green tied at 0. A delay of game penalty against Connor Levis. The Falcons just a minute ago on a hand pass in the defensive zone. Puck up next to the boards. Brandon Wynot grabs the puck on the right wing, takes it out to center ice, pokes it ahead. Perek has to chase it down. The D-man with Wynot behind the goal. He's got 5 Beavers with him, and the puck is away out to center. Stjernberg flips it back in. 10 seconds to go on the power play for Bemidji, and they have to get the puck out of their own end. Blocked by Ryman, center ice. He takes it up the right wing. Short-handed try here. Dom Ryman, he works in. Nice play there. Clean-up try by Waters. Caroms back up to the blue line. Levis out of the box. Crampton dumps it in. 4 skaters still for the Falcons, and now Jaden Grant will get back on the ice and in the play. Back up to the blue line. Stjernberg with the puck. He feeds it in tight with Waters and Grant, who are both reaching for that puck, but it caroms into the left wing side. Skated away by Bemidji. Down the left wing, the captain, Kirkland Irie, out to center ice. Hodson to grab the puck. He misses it. Silvestri the shot in over the head of Cole Moore. It bounces back over his head and played there, kicked into the corner. Falcons with a defensive recovery. Grant up the left wing to Tyler Hodson. Hodson wrist shot on the ice. Kick save made by Hildebrandt. Back up to the blue line. McKinley's shot in wide left of the goal. Emerson, his shot, 25-point scorer. Caroms back around. Nobody to hold it inside the blue line. The Falcons have the puck. Jake McLean pressing. They'll spin it back around. Entry by McKinley to the left wing side. Hodson feeds it down deep to Emerson. Still in the offensive zone are the Falcons. Ben Duran with the puck. Duran does well historically against Bemidji State. 5 points in 4 games played last season. 3 goals and 2 assists. This shot in, dropped down on the left wing. Duran behind the goal line. He's looking to get it away. Looks out to the blue line. To McKinley. To Higgins. Higgins gets the puck. Poke checked away. Bemidji will go for a change as the Falcons retreat the puck. BG forces it ahead. Emerson goes in to play it. Hudson Thornton gets it away. Now to the left wing side. McLean loses the puck. Brett Foe, top at the blue line. He moves in down the left wing. Lost the puck a second. Low angle shot there by Max Martin. He clears it up to the blue line again. Right wing point. Stjernberg feeds it down. Defensive recovery by Nemesnikoff. He skates it out of his own end. Lifts it high in the air. Gloved and kept alive with Falcon possession by Sloan. Martin tips it ahead. Favorable side of the red line. Bemidji will have possession. The Falcons will get a change. 14 to go left in the first period. No score yet. A power play chance for Bemidji that the Falcons had a clinical kill on. Back around his own net Falcons with the puck. Crampton a bank pass up to center ice. Dom Ryman pushes it ahead. 2 points in his last 6 games for the freshman Dom Ryman. Here's a chance for Waters. Ryman to clean it up, and he lifts it over the head of a couple of skaters in front of the net. Another feed in. Waters encroaching. Grant with the net front presence. There's Niedermeyer behind the goal line. Waters takes a step away from the crease, goes back to retrieve the puck. Left wing boards McLean to dig it out. Up to the Falcons. Crampton, he works in. Good move. Crampton still working in. Ryman tries to get a shot off, and it's taken away by Bemidji. Adam Flamang up the left wing. The alternate captain pokes it ahead, has to go for a change. Bowling Green, after surrendering some pretty good ozone time in the first 2 minutes to Bemidji, has turned this game on his head coming off of that penalty kill. Last 10 seconds of the penalty kill held the puck in the offensive zone. Brandon Wynot with good possession at the end of that kill. Max Vieg with the puck, the freshman, draft capital of the Montreal Canadiens. He was drafted in the 5th round of that draft, Max Vieg was. 5 points this season, 4 goals and 1 assist for the defenseman. Playing with Issa Parek, who's been a little bit disappointing offensively, has Parek. Had a very solid last season, 3 goals, 15 assists, 18 total points. This shot in is knocked down and kicked behind the goal line. Parek had 18 points with a couple of very nice goals for a defenseman. Only has 2 assists this season in his sophomore campaign, so sophomore slump true in the case of Issa Parek. Up to center ice, Simonovic with the puck. He lifts it in the air, up and way out of play. So we're going to get a face-off coming back up to center ice. 8 minutes expired here in the first period. No score between the Beavers and the Falcons. Falcons up to an early lead in shots on goal. Unsurprisingly there, 6 total. 1 for a bunch of different players, including Ty Higgins, who went pointless in his last series played against Lake State, but had 6 points going in to his 5th and 6th games played, and now is back up to a point per game. Exactly 6 points in 6 games played, but needs a point today to keep that point per game streak going. Had all 6 of his points in a 4-game stretch between Ferris State up in Big Rapids and Ohio State, both in Columbus and at home in the Slater Family Ice Arena. A very impactful offensive player has Ty Higgins, 4 assists in the Ferris State series. Defensive player of the week with the most points of a D-man just in his first CCHA series played ever. Impressive mark there by the freshman defenseman. Stretch pass up the ice. Martin tips it ahead. Jake Sloan in the right wing corner. Still no Noah Morneau in the lineup for the Falcons, but with his absence, still 2 freshman centermen. Jake Sloan and Connor Levis, both stepping up in big ways for the Falcons. Sloan only 3 points on this season. Levis 5, but pretty good face-off men and leaders of their respective lines. Sloan with Foe and Martin. Levis with Brandon Wynot and Jeremy Minville. Puck picked off and lifted out to center ice. Jackson Panzer. Now this puck is chased by Silvestri in the corner. Taking the puck away, Ty Higgins. He leaves it up to Sloan. Sloan, all 3 of his points this season against Ferris State. He deflects this one toward Hildebrand, who makes a nice save. Now coming the other way is Jake McLean. Up to the right wing with Mitch Wolf. The defenseman works in. Back to McLean. McLean spins it back around. Thornton, slap shot, blocked there by Brett Foe. A nice block. He's still getting up off of a prone position from a full cell on that block. Falcons trying to clear it out the blue line. Can't do it. Down back behind the goal line. Played there by Nemesnikov. Higgins sweeps it into the corner. He gets there first as well, and off the boards, lifts it out to center. Mitch Wolf will have to force it ahead, but it's into the Bemidji bench, it looks like. 10 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first, still no score. Falcons and the Beavers met up in the Slater Family Ice Arena. That was the first home CCHA series of the season, the first home series of the season. Both games ended tied through regulation, 4-4 the first night, 2-2 the second night. The first night won in a shootout by Bemidji, and the second night won in overtime. That goal by Hudson Thornton, who again played in the East Coast Hockey League last year with the Orlando Solar Bears, and now is back to college hockey and is in his sophomore season. So So certainly a time that you wish you would have got more points for the Falcons, but only their first CCHA home series of the season following a sweep of Lake State the week before. The Falcons follow up their Lake State series the second half of the season with Bemidji. This is the first game, and they'll play again tomorrow at 7:07 Eastern Time, 6:07 Central Time, depending on where you're listening to this game. Under 10 to go in the first period, no score. Stretch pass up down the right wing. Minville gets a touch. Hildebrand to slow it down. Played there by Wynot, back behind the goal line for Minville. Minville wraps it around the left side, back up to the blue line. Slap shot in, Niedermeyer banked away and cleared back down deeper for Thornton and away from danger net front. Here's Connor Levis. Levis down the right wing, the freshman. Thornton with the puck. He clears it away. Getting there first and knocking it down is Luke Roloffs in his own zone. Falcons able to keep it in the Bemidji end of the ice, and Hildebrand has to play it away. Max Hildebrand been the better of the two rotating goalies this season for Bemidji. He and Rathan Robbins. The freshman Hildebrand has 3 or more goals allowed in his last 3 games played. That coming off of 5 straight games of all 2 goals allowed. Although he hasn't got much defensive help, he has not won since November 8th against Lake State. That a 3-2 win. In fact, since that win, all the 3 before that all came in a row. Against Augustana, against Bowling Green, and against Lake State, 2 of those in overtime. The Augustana and Bowling Green games that he won. So he hasn't had too much record success this season, but has been pretty solid in his freshman campaign. Just about a 3 goals allowed average and approaching a .900 save percentage. He and Rathan Robbins, the rotating goalies, 2.65 goals allowed average, and again approaching a .900 save percentage for Robbins, who assumedly we'll see tomorrow. Puck up to center. Wolf with the shot in. Back up to center ice. 8:30 to go in the first period. The Falcons take it in the O-zone. Tyler Hodson behind the goal line. Defended by Wolf. Down in the left wing corner, Duran. Hodson back up to the blue line. Open ice. Simonovic shot in. Cleanup try for Emerson, who couldn't settle the puck down. He gets a late shot off, and it's saved. Puck way out of play. We'll get a stoppage with 8:18 left to go in the first period. This brings us to our Juniper Brewing Company timeout. Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 0-0 the score here in the Sanford Center. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The BGSU volleyball team and head coach Alex Del Piombo have picked up 2 new players from the transfer portal this winter. Molly Beatty comes to BGSU from Central Michigan. Entering her sophomore season, the Indianapolis native played only 16 sets in MAC play for the Chippewas last season, but played well in her first half. Carly Molnow is transferring from Loyola Chicago, where she had 256 kills and was nominated to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team. Going into the second season under Coach Del Piombo, the Falcons hope these new transfers will help lighten the blow of losing 3 seniors after last year's 17-15 finish. This has been 60 Seconds and Falcon Athletics.
Falcon Hockey on the radio at 88.1 FM and streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcons took just 2 points out of 6 available earlier in the season when they hosted Bemidji State in Slater Family Ice Arena. Now we're on the road in the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. But the defensemen were really the story of that weekend when the Falcons hosted Bemidji. Braden Crampton, one of them, scored his second goal of the season in Bemidji State game, although Bemidji then scored 3 in a row and won 3-2 in overtime. But Crampton set up the Falcons for a win in the second game with his second goal of the game and second goal of the season. Breck McKinley had an assist in each game against Bemidji. Both assists were on Quinn Emerson goals, and both Quinn Emerson goals were the first goals of each game. And then Gustav Stjernberg, an electric game-tying goal in the first game against Bemidji. That was on Halloween, October 31st. A slap shot from the left side. Can remember it vividly. Burned into my skull. Very nice footage of that goal by Nick Windholtz, who was in the building. And certainly an electric play, and the ability for the Falcons to tie it up, make sure that they took a point on that game, although they fell in the shootout. Stjernberg, a big check. Puck caroms outside the blue line as he goes for the body, not the puck. Duran skates back, gets the puck. Waters to poke it ahead. The Falcons offsides. They have to take it back, and Simonovic forces it up and turns it over to Bemidji. Stretch pass up to McLean. Doesn't land to him. Bounces over to Cole Moore. He covers it up with McLean encroaching. They'll get a whistle and a defensive zone faceoff now. 7.5 to go in the first period. Bemidji State had an early power play, that on a delay of game penalty against Connor Levis and the Falcons right after a hand pass on a defensive zone faceoff. Kind of a questionable call, but a successful penalty kill for the Falcons that even might have turned into a little bit of offense as they had the puck in the O zone for the last about 10 seconds of the power play, and Levis went right to the bench, got Jaden Grant in the offensive zone, and the Falcons still with possession, and they were able to put together some pretty good offense. 7 shots on goal for the Falcons, only 3 for Bemidji, who has an offensive ice faceoff now. Riley Funk in that dot. A senior, a transfer from Northern Michigan was Riley Funk after 3 seasons at Northern Michigan. 45 games played, 11 points. And his second season, that was 2023-24, injured after just 7 games played, so not as many games played as he would like, and he's transferred to Bemidji and been a first-line centerman for the Beavers, and a very successful one at that. 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points, the lowest scorer of the first line, but a good puck manager for Casper Magnuson and Adam Fleming. This puck is offsides. Bemidji will have to opt for a drop in the neutral zone, as we saw the 0-0 game. Adam Fleming, the leader on the team in points and assists for Bemidji State. 6 goals, 18 assists, and 24 points this season for Fleming. Just 1 point behind the leader of the matchup this weekend, which is Quinn Emerson. We'll keep you updated on if that changes, as both of those players are able to score points. Silvestri the shot in, a stick block by McKinley, and it bounces down into the Bemidji end. Max Vieg will get there first, the defenseman, to clear it away to Silvestri. Pass to the slot from the Falcons, won't land, and skating the puck away, Van Uhas, who takes it up the left wing. Brett Foe pokes it ahead. Check coming from Max Martin. Offsides are the Falcons, so Bemidji will get free possession there. Circling with the puck, Patrick Sadasari, the extra skating defenseman. Falcon pushed the puck ahead. A bit late to that puck was Minville. Out to center ice. Why not? Tips it around Silvestri. Stjernberg does the same to his defender. Minville with the puck in the right wing boards. Back into the Bowling Green end of the ice. 6:30 to go in the first period. Still no score between these two teams. Stretch pass up ahead to Brandon Wynot, who will get to this puck first. Pass to the slot. Minville's decked in the between the wheels, and he slides into the net. Both a little bit too late. Offsides are Bemidji. The puck got in late. Noah Quinn to push that ahead, and Bowling Green lucks out on a possible breakaway there. 6:20 to go in the first period. A quality chance the Falcons just saw. A centering pass that didn't land to Jeremy Minville. Saw a lot of that last series against Lake Superior State. And no goals in the second game coming from that. Only 1 goal in the first game. We only saw 2 even-strength goals that weekend for the Falcons against the Lakers. Both of them came in the first game. And we saw an empty net given to Tyler Hodson with no shot. He was fouled as he was streaking toward the empty net. Didn't get a shot off, but was awarded the empty net goal because of the penalty that he drew. Braden Crampton's going to be put in the bin. And we'll see what for. Interference is the call against the freshman defenseman, who doesn't take too many penalties. But he took one there, and it puts Bemidji back on a power play. The 6th best power play in the CCHA, so not too threatening there. The Falcons with one of the better penalty kills, but as head coach Dennis Williams said before the game today, it's going to come down to special teams and how well the special teams played And special teams certainly played a factor in the second game last week. A lot of penalties assessed, including a big fight at the end of the Lake State game. Everybody on the ice given at least a game misconduct after the final buzzer of the third period. Bemidji State with the puck. They take it up their own end with the power play. Magnuson fires it in off the shelf. Niedermeyer catches the body. Brett Foe to try and ice it. It's back up to the blue line. Played there by Thornton down to the left wing side. Magnuson feeds it in. The net is pushed off its moorings for a second. It still is pushed off its moorings. I don't know if Homemore realizes it. And neither does the referee. Puck back down to the Bemidji State end. They're trying to fix it without whistling play dead, and they finally do. Nemesnikov with the puck. Diss it out to the right wing side. Back to Nemesnikov as he streaks in. Simonovic gains the position behind the goal line. Jaden Grant, left wing side. He gets it out to Quinn Emerson. Emerson up the right wing. He moves in. Emerson the shot. He fans on it, and it comes into the corner. Fulmang puts a check on Emerson. BG sweeps it back in. Under a minute to go in the power play. Successful penalty kill so far for the Falcons. Just one big chance there to the right wing side. Now down the right wing, fired in by Van Uhas. Second lineup out there for Bemidji on the power play is the first one. Had most of the first power play and really couldn't get too much going offensively. 4:40 to go in the first period. 30 seconds left in the power play. Puck still the Bemidji State end. Isa Perek gets it out to the left wing. Riley Funk fires it in off the half wall behind the net of Cole Moore. Back up to the blue line. Perek to Funk. Funk plays the puck at the blue line. Back to Irie, the captain. And he gives it back to the defenseman. Playing tag with the puck. Irie back to Perek. Perek has to give it back to Irie. They're just giving it back to each other. Now to Uhas. Uhas feeds it in tight with Cole Moore. Good save there. Back behind the net. Jaden Grant with possession. Puck pinned up. Niedermeyer in there. Back out of the box comes Braden Crampton. He can touch the puck and goes into Hildebrand on the clearing attempt, so an icing is avoided there by the Falcons. Scooted into the boards, Roloffs tips it ahead, another offsides against Bemidji. That's 3 here in the middle goings and late goings of the first period. Under 4 to go in the first frame and still no score. 2 successful penalty kills for the Falcons on an interference penalty and a delay of game penalty. So the PK continues to thrive for the Falcons. It's been one of their strongest points all season. Has their penalty kill. Puck back down to the Bemidji State end. The Falcons late to it. The Falcon penalty kill third in the CCHA, 85%. Just trailing Michigan Tech and Augustana for that mark. Up to the blue line. Higgins the shot in, looking for his first. It's dropped down with traffic, and Brody Waters is tied up, couldn't get a shot off. McKinley to Dominic Ryman. Ryman feeds it in up to the left wing side. Taking a check and getting the puck away. Torrey Lund, left winger on the bottom line. Played for El Paso in the NAHL. That was 2 years ago. And Torrey Lund last year played only 7 games and had 3 assists in those 7 games. He's got all 3 goals of his career this year. Trying to give the puck up to the slot. It was Max Nemesnikov, and it's intercepted by the Falcons. Down the left wing, Hodson defeated in toward Duran. Just a bit long for him. Bemidji's able to clear it out to center ice. Poked ahead by Duran, recovered by Mitch Wolf. Forced up by Sadasari out to center ice, tipped by Sternberg as he put a hit on Nemesnikov. Falcons take it ahead. Here's Max Martin. Martin down the left wing. He's got a guy with him, but behind. Nice shot, Martin, and a save made by Hildebrand. Freshman still standing tall in the net. Played against the Falcons earlier this season in Game 2 in the Slater Family Ice Arena. 2 goals allowed, 25 saves, and a .925 save percentage. And that overtime victory for Max Nemesnikov. Part of 3 in a row. And he's only had 1 in his other games played. That would be 7 games played. He's played besides his wins, and he's got all losses and 1 overtime loss in that time. Back up to the blue line, played down by Hudson Thornton. The defenseman gives it up. Magnuson to get it around in open ice. Max Vieg down the left wing side. This one will be over to Magnuson in the right wing boards. He's pinned up by Ty Higgins, who continues to get better defensively. in his own zone. He was first couple of games living in the offensive zone, did well in the power play and stabilized the Falcon offense, but he's been getting better back inside of his own blue line, and that's where the Falcons need improvement from him. They know what they have offensively. $1:15 to go in the first period, still no score. Puck pinned up in the right wing corner of the Falcon O zone. Crampton Niedermeyer back on defense, and the first line of forwards back out there for the Falcons. Emerson battling for the puck. Thornton gets it away. Kirkland Irie, he gets the puck poked into the Falcon bench by Niedermeyer. He's so solid on the defensive end. A conversion from forward to defenseman this season. He previously played defenseman. Obviously his father Scott, one of the greatest defensemen of the 2000s. 45 seconds to go. Niedermeyer gets bumped into the corner. Slap shot, save made. Cole Moore back into the slot, and the Falcons carry it away. Ben Duran up through center ice. The pass behind Waters. It's dumped back in by Bemidji. 30 seconds to go in the first period. The Falcons out of danger now, and they have the puck in their own end. A pass and a turnover. Stjernberg kept in by Torrey Lund. He takes it down to the left wing side. Played out by Panzer up to the blue line. Mitch Wolf fires it in, down behind the goal, and it banks about 10 feet wide. Poked back out by the Falcons. 15 seconds to go in the first period. Bemidji will try and get a rush off before the horn sounds here in the first 20. Back down played by Mitch Wolf, and he'll be fine skating into the first intermission with a tie game. 0-0 between the Falcons and the Beavers. 2 power plays for Bemidji and 2 successful penalty kills for the Falcons. Nathan Burkett, Nate Henners, and maybe Holden Ruck will be back in the studio to talk us through what happened in this first period and our Rick Crow first intermission report. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon women's track and field heads to the Great Lakes State on Saturday, January 24th at noon to compete in the Bob Parks Memorial, hosted by Eastern Michigan at Bowen Field House in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Rugg.
Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
On September 28, 2025, BGSU women's soccer's Lizzie Boltnick scored her first goal in 2 years in a 4-0 win over Central Michigan. She later earned a brace in the win. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco had the call of her first strike.
It's around Boltnick. Going to have a lot of space here on this side. She's going to be on the breakaway. The 2-on-1. Borgman has to get back towards the goal, and she's got to put it forward over the head of Borgman and in. Lizzie Boltnick. Unbelievable. Taking advantage of Borgman being up near the midfield line.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network feature call.
Welcome into our Falcon Media Sports Network first intermission report. Here at the end of the first period, Falcons and Bemidji State Beavers tied scoreless. The first intermission report is brought to you by Rick Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM. So Nathan, briefly talking about that first period. Not a lot to talk about, as again, we are tied up scoreless, but some highlights from that first period.
A couple of big saves made by Cole Moore. Mentioned score remains 0-0. BG out shooting the Beavers 9-5 in that first frame. They also led the faceoff battle 10-6. Mentioned the pregame show how this defensive core is going to need to step up in the absence of their captain and arguably one of the best defensemen on this team, Dalton Norris. So far they have, making a total of 3 block shots on defense. Another block shot going forward, Brett Foe, Sternberg, McKinley, and Crampton all having block shots so far this game.
All right, coming up, we will kind of talk more about the first period and some things both teams can do going into that second period to try to get some scores, try to make it not scoreless. Excuse me there. I'm sorry. I had my mic off for a second. Coming up, we will talk more about the second period, to kind of preview it, some things both teams can look forward to for that second period. Plus, later on, we'll get a look at what else is going on around the CCHA right now, an update on those games. Keep it here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Millions of people all over the world go hungry while we waste our land and water resources. Did you know that raising animals for human consumption uses 8 times as much water as growing fruits, vegetables, and grains? And that the same amount of land can produce 17 times more soybean protein than meat protein? For great vegetarian recipes, write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's PETA, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
Welcome back to our Falcon Media Sports Network first intermission report. Nathan, talking more about the Falcons and the Beavers, some things both the teams can improve on because both teams prevented the other team from scoring. I mean, that's something, but none of them also scored either. So, some ideas there.
BG, I mean, they've done pretty well on the penalty kills so far, killing off both the penalties they've taken. But at the same time, you can't be taking penalties. If you keep giving Bemidji opportunities, they're eventually going to take advantage of it. So I would say staying on the box for Bowling Green so far. It's going to have to be big. I mentioned in the pregame show, in a game that's probably going to end with a 1-goal differential, like all the other games between these two teams seem to have, you're going to need to take and score your opportunities when you're presented with them. So far, BG creating 9 scoring opportunities, a couple of good ones. Notably, Jeremy Minville had a very good opportunity right in the slot. Couldn't finish it off as he got decked. If you keep getting those opportunities, eventually you're going to have to be able to put one away past Hillebrandt.
All right, coming up, we will have our Player of the Game watch discussion. We'll also take a look at what else is going on around the CCHA. Keep it here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
What is dedication? The thing that drives me every day as a dad is
is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad.
On February 21st, 2025, BGSU men's basketball upset Toledo at Savage Arena for the first time since 2021, defeating the Rockets 69-68. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call of the game-winning moment on Falcon Radio.
Johnson inbounds to Campbell. They do not foul. Bowling Green marches into Savage Arena, exacts revenge on the Toledo Rockets, and gets a much-needed conference victory over their arch rivals, defeating Toledo 69-68. What an improbable win for the Bowling Green Falcons.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events. To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network. The first intermission report brought to you by Rick Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM. So, Nathan, who are some athletes from this first period that you're watching for our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game?
Both goaltenders so far have been the real stories. Hillebrand for Bemidji making 9 saves. Cole Moore for the Falcons making 5. Couple big saves from him. I won't say but if he keeps up how he's been doing, we'll have to see potentially Cole Moore getting into the top 10 plays of the week for the CCHA. Also looking at the defensive core for the Falcons, mentioned earlier how a bunch of them had blocked shots. Also, Jackson Niedermeyer leads the Falcons so far in shots on goal with 2. He actually, I believe, and I am correct, leads the entire game in shots on goal with 2.
All right, taking a look at what's going on around the CCHA this evening. Some exciting matchups going on. First up, between that Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan game, Michigan Tech now up 7-0 at the end of this. Actually, that's going into the third right now. 19-12 left in the third period. So we'll keep you updated on that game. I got a good feeling about the Michigan Tech in that one. But 7-0, Michigan Tech up on Northern Michigan. Again, third period, 19:06 left now. Then another one in action. This one much more competitive. Right now, St. Thomas, Lake Superior State, tied up 4-4. Third period, 18:35 left in that. That one's going to be a pretty good one. Maybe a chance of going into overtime already in the third period, tied up 4-4.
Lake Superior was up 4-1 in that game earlier, and St. Thomas marching back. They're showing why they're the number 1 team in the CCHA right now.
Yeah, definitely for them. I mean, pretty good matchups going on. One pretty far uneven, another one tied up, and of course our matchup tied up as well, 0-0. Just tied up, but not as exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on those when we get into our second intermission report. Right now, we're going to take one more short break, and we'll get ready to hand things on back out to Bemidji, Minnesota, with Ben Korak here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is often laced into illicit drugs and used to make fake versions of prescription pills. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Suppliers mix fentanyl into their products because it's potent and cheap, and the dealer might not even know. Keep yourself and others safe by knowing the real deal on fentanyl. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot, taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing, looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
If you served honorably in our nation's armed forces and you're looking for a way to continue serving your fellow veterans and your community, then join AMVETS. Each year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve the lives of their fellow veterans through the VA Voluntary Services Program. AMVETS posts and departments also participate in a wide variety of community service projects, ranging from Americanism in our schools to supporting the Special Olympics and Boy Scouts of America. Even if you no longer wear the uniform today, you can still serve through the AMVETS by joining today at amvets.org.
Wrapping things up for our Falcon Media Sports Network first intermission report, it was brought to you by Rick Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM. Nate Henners joined by Nathan Burkett here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio at the Killeen Center. Time to send things on back out now to Bemidji, Minnesota. North up there, kind of colder. It's cold out here, colder up there. Ben Korak, how's it going up there?
It's not too bad, Nate. Wish you could have seen a goal in this first period, but the Falcons playing pretty well so far. They've put up 9 shots on goal on Max Hildebrand and made him make some saves. They've defended their own goaltender Cole Moore well, had 2 successful penalty kills, and have set themselves up for a second period that is hopefully one of scoring, although the Falcons have not done well this season in the second period. It is their only period that they are outscored in competition. 20 goals this season in the second period for BG, 27 for their opponents this year. That's the only period that they're outscored in. 19-12 they lead the first period, 30-16 they lead the third, 2-1 they lead the overtime, with the only overtime winner against them being for Bemidji State, but they look to continue remedying that second period again today. Falcons and Beavers back out onto the ice here in the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook as well. The goalie switched sides. The teams will score on the opposite net, and the Falcons and the Beavers look to get back at it. That first period was led in shots on goal by the Falcons 9-5, and total shots by 7 as well. And 5 of the 9 shots on goal for the Falcons were inside of the face-off circles in toward Hildebrand. 3 outside of them. Many of the shots for the Beavers coming outside of those face-off dots. Only 2 of their 14 total shots come from outside those face-off dots, so the Falcons being able to keep them enough away. Here's Emerson down the right wing side, grabbing the puck there and taking it up the left side is Mitch Wolf back in his own end. Thornton comes up with the puck. He feeds it out to center ice, played by Riley Funk. Starters back out. Ben Duran gets a touch on the puck and pushes it back up to center. The entry will be uncontrolled by Thornton. Cole Moore will stop the puck behind his own net. Moore has made 5 saves so far. Hildebrand's made 9. The Falcons onside there. Hodson behind Ben Duran, and he gets the puck taken away again by Mitch Wolf. Wolf and Thornton wheel so many minutes for this Bemidji State team, the 2 main defensemen, although pretty solid youth pairing. The second pairing, Max Vieg and Issa Perek. Perek certainly had a better season last season than he's had so far this year. Only 2 points scored. Didn't play overly well against the Falcons earlier this year. Didn't score a point in that series, and his 2 assists have come few and far between. Down the left wing come the Falcons. Waters moving it in tight to Hildebrand. He pokes the puck farther away from him as it was coming toward his right kicker. McLennan skates the puck in with his momentum. McKinley up down the left wing, tipped ahead by Grant, who gets a touch on it. No, he doesn't. It's going to be an icing against the Falcons and come back into the other end with a buck and a half expired here in the second period. Take a look around the CCHA real quick. It is 4-4, Lake State and St. Thomas. St. Thomas with 3 straight goals through 2 in the second period and 1 in the third. Looked like Lake State was going to help the Falcons a bit there with a win, but they are tied back up 4-4, and it's going to come down to the rest of the third period. And Michigan Tech on a 7-0 run against Northern Michigan. Still 17 minutes to go in the third period. Back down to the Bemidji end, Perek will grab the puck. It's going to be an icing against the Falcons again, so they will not be able to change, hoping that they played the puck enough on the red line to be able to stay away from that, but alas, they did not. Again, Bemidji has not won a game in overtime or straight up in 9 games. It's been 62 days since the last time they won in overtime or regulation. And again, they're coming off a pretty bad weekend versus St. Thomas up, or I guess down in St. Thomas in Minneapolis, about a 3-hour or so drive from here. Max Martin looking to get to the puck first. He does so with Max Vieg. Perek back up to the blue line, intercepted by Brett Foe. Foe takes it down deeper. He's on the right wing side, now gets it back up to the blue line. Falcons in the O-zone. Niedermeyer down the right wing. He works in. Niedermeyer backhand shot, and Hildebrand is going to hold on with his left glove. A nice play there by the defenseman to work in, but an even better save by the freshman goaltender. 18 to go in the second period. No score. The best chance of this second frame so far. Niedermeyer has been impressive for the Falcons this season, not only in just the way that he's played, but being able to do so after playing the entire summer preparing to be a Falcon forward, and he's brought so much ice vision and offensive output as well as some very solid defensive play. He was a penalty kill mainstay last year as a forward for the Falcons. He and Seth Fighton, Ethan Scardina, and Ville Immonen, the 4 core penalty killing forwards for the Falcons, and now Niedermeyer, a staple on the penalty kill as a defenseman as well. Back into the BGN, Max Martin's there. He gathers the puck, and we'll wait back for Niedermeyer to come up and get it. Niedermeyer's pass just ahead of Foe. Sloan will be the first into the puck. Hildebrand takes a step out of the net, and he pokes it ahead and away from Sloaner. Menville off of his skates. He keeps it in the blue line, and now breakaway down the left side. McLennan, he feeds it in tight, and it's cleared away. McLennan had Noah Quinn, 2 right wingers trying to connect for the first goal of the game, and they didn't get it. In the Bemidji State Bowling Green Series earlier this year, Quinn Emerson got both games started, both assisted by Breck McKinley. Quinn Emerson had a heck of a series. That was the start to his tear that he's gone on, leading the Falcons in points and assists. 25 points so far this season, his best season by far in his career with Bowling Green, and it's in his final season in the orange and brown as a senior, Quinn Emerson. Mitch Wolf feeds it up to center ice. Adam Fleming, he's playing with Ben Duran, picked off by Hodson. Hodson takes a check in front of his own bench. The Falcon off the bench, plays the puck. Stjernberg out to the right wing side, poked ahead, and now the other way with numbers comes Bemidji State. Down the left wing comes Magnuson. Good pass up to Fleming. Fleming works in, poke check by the Falcons. A good play there. Looked like it was maybe Ivan Korodiak on the back check there that broke the play up. Pretty much a 3-on-1 down the other way, and never even got a shot off. Did Bemidji. Out to center ice, Fleming, who was stifled on that try a second ago. He hits it in and goes to the bench. Off of Ryman's stick and into the Bemidji State end. Max Vieg will go back. 2+ shots in each of his last 8 games played and 2 goals during that time. He's shooting 8.5% during his last 8, which is a pretty good ratio on the season for Max Vieg. Now down the left wing, another breakaway. Magnuson, his shot wide right. He had McLean with him and elected to take the shot. McLennan feeds it in toward the side of the rack. Back up to the crease again. McLean was standing there, but he was tied up, and now the Falcons the other way. Back-to-back breakaways for Bemidji. Trip down to the ice. Penalty upcoming to Max Vieg. The freshman's going to go to the box for 2 for tripping up Ty Higgins as he skated up the right wing offensively. 2 breakaways for Bemidji result in nothing, and now they'll go on a penalty kill. And the first power play of the game goes to the Falcons. 2 minutes for tripping against Max V. Perfect time to take a step back for station identification here from the Sanford Center.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
15:25 to go in the second period. The Falcons with a power play. All 3 power plays now have occurred on the left side of your radio dial, which the Falcons are scoring on now. Max Hildebrand standing in net, 11 shots he's seen, and he stopped all 11. And the Falcons beat the Beavers on just their first power play of the game. 22% is the Falcon power play. 77% is the Beaver penalty kill. Up to Stjernberg at the blue line. McKinley with the puck down to the right wing. Hodson try and feed it back up to the blue line. He got it up to McKinley. Deep pass down to Duran. Duran works it in tight, and now he goes net front. Waters back up to the blue line. McKinley looking in. He looks for a shooting lane, now gives it up to Waters. Waters down to Duran. Duran working in. His shot, score! Ben Duran makes it a 1-0 game. Tilts the ice toward the Falcons on the power play. 5 minutes into the second period, we got a 1-0 Falcon lead. Absolute beauty of a shot from Ben Duran from the left side. He just buried it under the wing of Max Hildebrand, and the Falcons jump out to a 1-goal lead for the 3rd time against the Beavers this season. Ben Duran has his 4th goal of the season, his 18th point. And this one coming on the power play, which is somewhere he gets a lot of assists, not too many goals, and he earned his goal there. Vince Corcoran in the corner, back behind the goal line again. The Falcons back in the O zone. They do that so well coming off of goals. They take the puck right back in, don't give up any possession. Now Van Uhas gets it away. Kirkland Irie is tipped ahead. Down the left wing, Silvestri skating through center. The pass never got to him. Shot from the blue line. Slap shots gloved by Cole Moore. 14:32 to go in the second, and a 1-0 Falcon lead. Duran assisted by McKinley and Waters. And not only have the Falcons scored first in all 3 games against Bemidji this season, Breck McKinley has had the assist on all 3 this season. Brody Waters, known last year as one of the best goal scorers in the CCHA, frankly, was the leader for a lot of the season, the leader in power play goals, and he has a power play assist there, his 5th assist of the season. Still has more goals than assists, 6 goals, and now 5 assists, but a better all-around player and a good passer. Here working in tight, and it's cleared away by the Falcons. Pass across the nose, Noah Quinn has to take it out to the blue line, now with Snake Guys back down behind the goal line. Torrey Lund gives it up, back up to the blue line. Mitch Wolf, he trades spots to Hudson Thornton. Down the right wing, Thornton, he works in, backhands it off the side of the cage. It bounces off the half wall, and it's fed back in, blocked by Sloan. Outlet pass, now Bowling Green on a breakaway. Max Martin, he works in, defended, shot, backhand, score! First of the season for Max Martin. He breaks the ice here in the second half of 2025-26. 13:50 to go in the second, and the Falcons with a 2-0 lead. A long time coming for Max Martin. His last goal scored was in a quarterfinal game over Michigan Tech. That was in the Game 2 win on March 8th of 2025. And he scores here on Friday, January 23rd, and makes it a 2-0 Falcon lead. The Falcons with 2 goals in the span of just a couple of minutes. Jake Sloan with his 4th point of the season, his first not against Ferris State, and Brett Foe with an assist on that goal as well. .6:10, the time of the goal. The puck over toward Cole Moore, and he has to cover it up. A face-off coming in the O-zone for Bemidji, and now Bemidji's going to skate a little bit desperate now as they find themselves down 2 after coming into this period with a tie game at 0-all. Impressive plays back-to-back by the Falcons. One on the power play, that was Ben Duran. And then one even strength on a breakaway. Max Martin with the one-on-one backhand. He kind of defended too. And a very impressive play, not only to beat the goaltender Max Hildebrand for the second time today, but to beat Hudson Thornton, who was a very solid defensive defenseman. And he just beat him to the puck and beat Hildebrand on the shot. 4:59 the time of the first goal, 6:10 the time of the second goal, both here in the second period. Ryman bumped into the boards, puck behind the goal line. Ryman back in there on the half wall. It's grabbed by Grant, who takes a huge check into the boards. Grant tries to give it back to Flameng. Flameng flops and drops down on the ice. He gave a huge check to Grant, and then Grant gave a slight one back, and Flameng goes tumbling. Didn't even get in the boards. The hand is up, and Grant's going to go to the box just for two. Flameng still chirping, and that was a bit of a flop there by Adam Flameng, who gave a heck of a hit to Grant, and a clean one at that, I would say. And then as soon as Grant gives him a bit of a shoulder back, he falls and draws the penalty. So the referees converging now. They're going to talk this over. Bobby Lucasen and Brady Johnson, the two referees, linesmen Ben Golick and Nathan Voll. We're going to review this for a potential major against Jaden Grant, who's going to sit in the box for two. The Falcons with a 2-0 lead will go on the penalty kill here. So the puck was on the right wing half wall, and Grant got crushed as he was trying to play the puck out at center ice and feed it back in, which he did feed the puck back in. So everything that happened after that was away from where the puck was. And then the puck carried back out, and Grant gave a check to Adam Flameng, and the alternate captain flopped. Senior Adam Flameng, senior Jaden Grant, both have been around a while, both alternate captains. So the Falcons will at least sit Grant in the box for two, and maybe for five. As a Bemidji State fan walked over to the glass, bumped on it as Grant standing there next to the penalty box. 13-14 to go in the second. The game was flying by, quite honestly. I mean, we just crossed over into 8:08 Central Time, 8:09 Central Time now. And the first period took only about 33 minutes. Second period was flying along until we had this challenge now and a stoppage. Didn't announce the penalty against Jaden Grant, at least yet, on what the call will be. Again, Max Martin, the most recent goal on a breakaway, backhanded, a nice play to stretch the pass along by Jake Sloan and Brett Foe. Foe's fourth assist of the season, Jake Sloan's third. And Breck McKinley assisted Ben Duran on his power play goal a bit longer ago. That's 17 assists on the season for Breck McKinley, who was one away from Quinn Emerson in that regard. Referees out of the box. They're going to talk to us. Grant for indirect head contact, I believe he said, and he's going to get a minor penalty. So the referees will go and talk to head coach Tom Saratori first. Saratori in his 25th season as the head coach of Bemidji State, an 8-time conference coach of the year, second winningest Bemidji State hockey head coach ever. A .514 win percentage on 403 wins, 378 losses and 104 overtime losses. A .576 winning percentage in conference play. Head coach Dennis Williams talking to the linesman and the referee. Brady Johnson still getting a chewing out from head coach Dennis Williams. Johnson giving it back a little bit. We're still missing two forwards on the ice for the Falcons now, as they haven't told which two to go. We do have the defensemen out there. It's Sternberg and Niedermeyer. The defensive corps changed a little bit too. The captain, Dalton Norris, injured in the last game. Don't have an outlook on him and how long he is going to be out, but he's the captain. He's played very well, and he's played a lot with freshman Braden Crampton, and now the pairings have been scrambled up a bit. Higgins will stay with McKinley. Crampton and Niedermeyer skate together today, and Simonovic stepping in for Norris, and Gustav Sternberg skate on a pairing as well. And that takes away a penalty killer and a power play guy and your leader on the ice. While he can lead off, that's a big loss for the Falcons. So they have their 4 out. Bemidji has their 5. And we're going to drop puck to the right of Cole Moore and the Falcon end. A 2-minute power play against Jaden Grant. Whistle, and we're going to get another penalty. Somebody's going to go. And judging by his reaction, I think it's going to be Jake Sloan. Nope, it's going to be Sternberg. Interference is the call right off the faceoff to Gustav Sternberg, and now a 5-on-3 with only 3 seconds expired off the penalty. So Bemidji will have a real chance to tie this game up if they're able to play their power play cards right. They've had 2 opportunities, and they haven't scored on either, and now have a minute 57 of 5-on-2 to be able to get at least 1, if not 2. Grant in the box first, then Sternberg, and also worth mentioning, both very solid penalty killers. Grant, one of the better forwards, and Sternberg, maybe the best defenseman on the penalty kill. Sloan in for the draw, wins it back to his side, but possessed by Bemidji, taken away by Simonovic, who ices it down. So that'll waste some time off the clock. About 4 seconds of difference between penalty to penalty. So it'll pretty much be a 5-on-3 the entire 2 minutes. Down the left wing, working in tight, Nemesnikov, he gives it up. Somebody lost their glove. The Falcon lost their glove, and a Beaver lost their stick. Somebody can't play right now. It looks like McKinley is trying to hide his hand. Play hasn't been stopped yet. It's out to the blue line. Played there. Thornton with the puck. Magnuson gave it to him. Now Thornton shot in to the chest of Colmore. He holds on. McKinley getting into it. Adam Fleming takes a check, but no penalty coming on that. 12:24 to go in the second period. A minute 11 to go in the power play. Technically a minute 15 of power play to go, but the 5-on-3 certainly more glaring than the 5-on-4. Grant will come out first, then Sternberg. Magnuson back up to Thornton at the blue line. Thornton looks in. 2 forwards up for the Falcons, actually Niedermeyer, who is a little bit of both. Niedermeyer up at the point. He's defending McLennan. Gives it up to Magnuson. High slot. Magnuson shot in. Nemesnikov had an open net, and he couldn't feed it in. Into the corner. The Falcons try to clear it. Magnuson holds it inside the blue line. Here's Thornton down the left wing. He feeds it to the left wing side. Fleming with the puck. He's at the high slot. Gives it up to Magnuson. Magnuson with it. Moves it out to the left side. Thornton back to Fleming. Those 3 players dancing with the puck at the top of the key. Now to the left wing side. McLennan to Magnuson. Magnuson gets blocked. Nice block there by Emerson. Playing up there with Niedermeyer. 5-on-3 Bemidji for the next 20 seconds. Back up to the blue line. Here's McLennan to Magnuson, right wing side. Down deep, moving in. Nemesnikov. Save made. Cole Moore still standing tall. 10 seconds to go in the 5-on-3, and then 4 seconds before Sternberg also comes out of the box and makes it back 5-on-5. So Bemidji's really got to guard a possible breakaway here. Grant will come out first, and he's a very nice goal-scoring forward. Team leader in goals, Jaden Grant is. Up to the blue line, Thornton with the puck. Falcons still trying to kill this off. Fleming shot into the chest of Colmore. He makes another save, back-to-back. 3 seconds to go. Still not over. 7 seconds before the Falcons are back up to full strength. Imagine Grant would go right in the play. Imagine Stjernberg will go to the bench. But we'll see how Falcons are able to play this. Sloan with the puck, face-off one, Bemidji clears it away to McLennan, who dives on the puck. Puck still dancing right there. Falcons try and clear it, and I think it hit the netting on the way out. Grant was out of the box, so was Stjernberg, and we're back up to full strength, it looks like. Stjernberg was trying to check off as he was coming out of the bench, and the referees are arguing that he was still on the ice when the puck was coming out of play, so he's going to have to step back on, and Dom Ryman's going to have to take a step off. So the Falcons will skate with 3 defensemen until they can clear and get Stjernberg off for a forward. Grant and Sloan out as forwards, and McKinley, Simonovic, and Stjernberg out there as well. Face-off won by Bemidji. Max Vieg defeated in. Falcons sweep it behind the goal line and deeper. Puck off up and into the netting. I believe it was off Bemidji. So now Bowling Green will get a change. Still a defensive zone drop. 11 minutes to go in the second period, but a 5-on-3 for a minute and 56 seconds was killed off. And no goals scored by Bemidji. Still the only goals in the game, Ben Duran and Max Martin. Foe, McKinley, Sloan, and Waters. The assists on those 2 goals, and the Falcons lead 2-0 with 9 minutes expired in the second. So even through the 5-on-3, Bemidji is still trailing in this period in shots on goal by 2 and trailing overall by the same margin. Backhanded in, rebound chance, another one into Cole Moore. He is able to shut it off, squeezes it between his legs. Silvestri getting into it a little bit in front of the crease there. There was 2 rebound chances after an initial shot in. Looked like Tori Lund got one of them. Silvestri with the setup on his initial backhand that got the 2 rebounds. Van Uhas working in there as well. Silvestri will go back into the dot. Now Irie on the ice now, the captain and senior. 8 assists in 24 games played. Still looking for his first goal of the season. His last even strength goal was against the Falcons last year on February 21st. It's been since then that he scored an even strength goal. The only other goal between now and then is a shorthanded. Dom Ryman working in tight with Hildebrand, and the puck is lost by the referee, so we'll blow it dead even though the puck was not covered up by the goaltender. Pleasantries being exchanged to the left of Hildebrand, but nothing going to come of it. 10:31 to go in the second period. 2-0. The Falcons lead with the puck dropping in the offensive zone as soon as we can get new sets of guys on the ice. Jake Sloan in for the faceoff. Has 1 point in his last 11 games played, but impressively enough, has not taken a penalty since November 14th versus Ferris State. And even though he's got an assist today, maybe the most impressive thing that's happened to him since that last penalty is not taking one at all. That's as a freshman that is playing his first games of college hockey this year, and to be able to stay out of the box as well as he has is an impressive feat for the third-line center. Back up to the blue line. Brett Foe takes it up. He's got Sloan and Martin with him. Martin down the left wing looking for 2. Good shot goes high of Hildebrand. Max Martin down the left wing that side. Ty Higgins able to hold the puck inside the blue line. With it, backhands it down deep and letting it go is Sloan on the right wing side. Tori Lund to skate it out. He's kept into the boards by Luke Roloffs, and puck away to Noah Quinn on the right wing side. Poked up to center. Brandon Wynot feeds it ahead. Down the left wing comes Jeremy Minville. His shot off the crossbar. Good shot there by Jeremy Minville, looking for his first in a while. It's back up outside of the blue line. The Falcons will have to reset and now go chase the puck. Sadasari plays the puck. Wynot puts a check on him. Now breakaway. Left wing. Riley Funk. He works in. Funk working in. Drop down. And the net comes off. Looked like the stick got a little bit low in the skates there. 9:19 to go in the second. But it was a clean play on a breakaway by the first-line senior center, Riley Funk. And besides a face-off in the Falcon end, nothing bad there. On a nice defensive play by Niedermeyer. How many times have we said that this year? A nice defensive play by Niedermeyer. Quite a lot. He's been maybe his most impressive when he's inside his own blue line. Last season, 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists. Both goals game winners, one against Ferris State, one against Northern Michigan. This season had 3 points in 4 games played. 2 games against Princeton, 1 against Ohio State, and 1 against Ferris State. 1 goal, 2 assists during that time. 7 shots on goal, a couple of penalty minutes, but 5 blocks as well. Especially played, or the Falcons noticed the loss of him and Gustav Stjernberg, both to injury when they played Northern Michigan before the turn of the new year. In a weekend where the Falcons took 2 out of 6 points, missing 2 of their better defensemen. Now the Falcons will play for assumedly a while without another pretty key defenseman, their captain, Dalton Norris. There's an icing against the Falcons, so the faceoff will come back to the left of Cole Moore. $9:10 to go in the second. We're having a lot of stoppages the last couple of minutes as Bemidji is entered into a little bit of desperation here. Now it's early, still the second period, and only halfway through the second period. And a timeout is called by head coach Dennis Williams to get his guys a rest after that icing. This timeout brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 2-0, the Falcons lead here in the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bowling Green Women's Basketball hosts Akron at the Stroh Center on Wednesday, January 28th at 7 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Trey Kennedy and Carter Leonard will have the call on WBGU 88.1 FM with Sam Bork and PJ Aubrey hosting the pregame, halftime, and postgame show for the matchup starting at 6:35 p.m.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage on X at BG_FMSN.
Head coach Dennis Williams takes a timeout in the second period to avoid tired legs on an icing. Tyler Hodson comes up with the puck. Face-off win for Quinn Emerson. He stepped in the dot for Ben Duran, who was kicked out of the circle. And back up to the left wing side. Fleming to clear it out. The Falcons able to keep it in. They poke it toward Hildebrand. Goes off of his stick as he tried to swipe it away from the crease and up into the netting. So after just that little play, we're going to get our media timeout. 8:54 to go in the second period. As I said a little bit ago, it's still 2-0. The Falcons leading Bemidji off of goals by Ben Duran and Max Martin. This timeout again brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, who are the proud creators of the Ale Ziggy Zumba, light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics. A fan favorite in the Madhouse on Mercer, also available at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green. For latest menus and Juniper Brewing Company details, go to juniperbrew.com. 2-0, Falcons lead. You're listening to your home for Falcon Hockey.
Don't let biased algorithms, or degree screens, or exclusive professional networks, or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work in the
BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Whether the Falcons are at the Slater Family Ice Arena or out on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering them all season long.
Update from around the CCHA. Michigan Tech had a 7-0 lead going into the third period. Northern Michigan scored 2, and then Michigan Tech iced it if they needed to and made it 8-2 final from the Barry Event Center in Marquette, Michigan. St. Thomas also completed a victory over Lake Superior State. It looked pretty good there for a minute, 4-4. The game was tied between the Lakers and St. Thomas, and even the Lakers led 4-1 before that. And it came down to 6 unanswered goals by St. Thomas, including 4 in the third period, and they ran away with the game 7-4. So a high-scoring affair in both Sault Ste. Marie between St. Thomas and Lake State, and in Marquette, Michigan, between Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan, that rivalry series. And it's relatively low scoring so far, but both goals going to the Falcons. Ben Duran and Max Martin, the Falcons leading 2-0. 8:45 to go in the second period here in the Sanford Center, luckily inside, avoiding the blistering cold that is going on outside and what's possibly some bad weather this week. Ty Higgins recovers the puck. Down to the left wing, Nemesnikov. He's bumped into the boards. McLean back to McLennan behind the goal line. Back up to the blue line. Wolf with the puck. His shot in, deflected down and around. Traffic in front. Another puck cleared over in tight. McLennan gives it up to Nemesnikov, who brings it back up to the blue line. Another shot in, bounces wide of the net and around the goal. Up to center ice. Wolf gets a check from Duran. Clears over toward Cole Moore, who has to dive out to make the stop. He snowed a little bit there by Kirkland Irie, but incidentally. And 8 minutes to go in the second period. Another save for the junior goaltender. Cole Moore, .935 save percentage or more, and 3 of his last 4 games started. The only other game below a .935 was an .893 save percentage, and that was the win over Ohio State at home in the Slater Family Ice Arena. So that even still a good performance from the goaltender. Back into the right wing boards, the Falcons battling for the puck. It's cleared away out to the right wing side. Silvestri lifts it up high in the air and into his own bench. Looked like he drilled Vince Corcoran with the puck. So the puck will come back down in the left wing side. Bemidji wearing green sweaters, green shorts, green socks, green mitts, white buckets, some white piping, but they're wearing the sweaters with the large block B on the chest instead of the ones that say Bemidji State with the numbers splitting those 2 words. Falcons wearing their white sweaters, brown shorts, white buckets, orange mitts that they wear at home normally, and they're wearing them on the road today. Riley Funk, he works in. His shot against Cole Moore. Save made, puck into the corner. Back up to the blue line. Open ice, Perek looking for his first goal of the season. He sends it high over the head of Moore with traffic in front. Down in the left wing corner, Fulmang bunked away from the puck. The Falcons rink it around and get open ice for Brett Foe, who clears it up to center. Glove dropped ahead by Max Martin. Max Martin with a good move, and he loses the puck out to Funk. Back up to the blue line. Fulmang tips it ahead. Funk down the right wing. He's got Perek and Fulmang with him. He feeds the puck in toward Cole Moore. It glides in, and Cole Moore makes the glove save. 7 minutes to go in the second period, 2-0. The Falcons lead the last CCHA game going on today. Only 3 games. St. Thomas with a win over Lake State. Michigan Tech with a win over Northern Michigan. So the Falcons, I don't believe, can rise in the standings, although every point they get, and especially against Bemidji, who is below them, separates them from the rest of the field. Minnesota State does not play today. They're 2 points behind the Falcons with a game extra played. So after tonight, we'll have a beat on where the Falcons stand compared to the defending champions. Michigan Tech, Augustana, and St. Thomas, all the top teams in the CCHA. St. Thomas now 9 points ahead of the Falcons, but if Bowling Green takes 3, they'll only be 6, as St. Thomas has a game completed today and the Falcons haven't. Hodson's on sides. He flips it ahead to himself. Corcoran narrowly avoids a huge hit. Karodiak shot in, dropped down. Noah Quinn. He skates it out of his own end, down the middle of the ice. He pushes it ahead off the half wall, and he goes to chase against fellow number 21, Ivan Karodiak. Back up to the blue line, played in there. Shot goes wide right. Colmore lets it fly and goes off the half wall and around the net. Stjernberg will get to the puck. He lifts it out to center ice. Between the legs, it looked like of Quinn Emerson, who's been a bit quiet today, although he's had a couple of nice chances. Been a penalty killer for Bowling Green. That's 4 for 4 so far today. And penalty kill percentage is continuing to go up, and that special teams for Bowling Green continuing to get better. 1 for 1 in the power play, 4 for 4 in the penalty kill. Can't ask really much more than that. Up to center ice, Nemesnikov gets the puck poked away from him. Max Nemesnikov, his father, Evgeny, played 43 games and 5 seasons in the NHL with Vancouver, New York, and Nashville. And his brother Vladislav Nemesnikov, currently playing in his 13th NHL season, now with Winnipeg. 348 points in 833 games for the +39 center. In the right wing corner, Nemesnikov, the puck poked away. McKinley pins it up. He's got McLean with him. Slap shot McLennan misses wide left on a heated slap shot though, but missed. McLean with another shot, recovered by McKinley, and they skate it out. Minville's getting his stick held behind the play. He's going to go to the bench anyway. Thornton gathers the puck, the defenseman. Bank pass up, and the Falcons will get there first. Crampton back in his own end. Forecheck from Juhas and Silvestri. Up to center ice. Silvestri with the tip. Jaden Grant forces it ahead. Played back by Max Vieg, who took a penalty, the only penalty for Bemidji so far, that led to the only Falcon power play goal on the only Falcon power play. Brody Waters around to Grant, back up to the blue line. Niedermeyer, D-to-D pass. Held inside the blue line, then tipped ahead. Kirkland Irie up the left wing. Crampton had to avoid not tripping up Irie, as Irie had ahead but lost the puck a second, and the odd man rush was stifled. Ryman takes a check by Juhas. Puck up to center ice. Grant lifts it up high and goes for a change as he tries to waste time on that puck. 4:15 to go in the second. 2-0, the Falcons lead. Silvestri, pass ahead to Magnuson. Magnuson ranging in. He gets dumped into the boards by Brett Foe. Puck away. Max Martin, who's played some very nice shifts today, including having his first goal of the season and his first since March 8th. And that was in the Mason Cup quarterfinal. Max Martin off the half wall, up the center ice. He chases on the forecheck. Corcoran, puck up to Riley Funk. Looks to tip it ahead, but doesn't get it off of his skates. Riley Funk, 4 points in his last 4 games played. 2 goals, 2 assists. 36-14. Faceoffs 1 to loss. He's an impressive faceoff man, is Riley Funk, and he's 5-2 today. Although Bemidji trailing by 7 in total faceoffs won, they're also trailing in a lot of different categories, including, and most importantly, the goal category that the Falcons lead 2-0. This icing against the Falcons, so they'll skate a bit tired until they can clear the puck. 3:12 to go in the second period. First goal of the game, 5 minutes into the second period. Ben Duran on the power play, assisted by Brody Waters and Breck McKinley. And then 1 minute and 10 seconds later, Max Martin with his first goal of the season, assisted by Jake Sloan and Brett Foe on a stretch pass breakaway one-on-one with Hildebrand. And Hildebrand's been beat twice. 13 saves, 2 goals allowed, and .867 save percentage for the freshman goaltender. On the right wing in his own zone, Hodson looks to play the puck, but he loses the edge of his skate. He goes tumbling, and the puck back to the green and white. Duran a check in front of the Bemidji State bench. Back up on his feet, Flameng. Puck over toward Hildebrand. Into the corner first, Emerson. He leaves the puck for Hodson, who flips it down. Puck pinned up behind the net briefly and then carried away by the Beavers. Up at the blue line, Hodson and Grant. Grant gets his puck forced away. Crampton back, and he'll have to chase the puck down. Niedermeyer will actually get there first. McLean pins up Niedermeyer. Waters off the half wall. Good bank pass ahead, and Jaden Grant up the right wing. He banks it, goes for the puck himself, beats Max Wieg to the puck. Grant gets pinned up. Wieg back there as well. Puck away to Casper Magnuson, held inside the blue line by Crampton. Up to the blue line, Ryman couldn't hold it in, playing defensive position for the defenseman who crashed there to play the puck. McKinley loses the puck there, a D-to-D pass in the defensive zone. McLennan looks to center it, and it's off of the skate of a Falcon and into the right wing boards. Niedermeyer with the puck now, and he takes it up. A shot there from Niedermeyer from the red line center ice. Kirkland Irie, his puck away. He doesn't have a goal since March 7th against Augustana. That was a shorthanded goal. He doesn't have an even strength goal since February 21st. That was against Bowling Green, so he's looking to get back on the goal scoring sheet today, is Kirkland Irie. He doesn't even have a point since November 21st against Northern Michigan. He's played 9 games since without a point and only has 7 shots on goal during the last 9. And icing against Bemidji State will take the faceoff back to Hildebrand. But that's your captain. That's a player that in his 122 previous games played has 51 points. You would expect a 24-point scorer from the 2024-25 season to be able to do a little bit more offensively than he has. He has 8 assists, and he's passed pretty well this season. He plays good defense, and he's a good leader, but you expect more offensively, to say the least. And this is the time in the season where Bemidji really needs him to step up. Now down to 9-12-3 overall and 7-6-3 in the CCHA, at risk of losing their winning record in CCHA play today. Puck chipped into the offensive zone. The Falcons will chase it in. Grant takes a header into the boards. Hodson with a low-angle chance, and Hildebrand shuts it off a bit closer than Hildebrand thought it was going to be. Out to center ice. Emerson plays the puck, and a hand pass against the Falcons is the only reason Emerson was able to play it. A minute to go in the second period. 2-0 the Falcons lead. You'll hear from Nate Hinners and Nathan Burkett back in the Cooling Center studios for the second intermission report, brought to you in memory of Marta Crow, a longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM's hockey coverage. Falcons will drop puck back in their own end with a minute to go, and I'm sure happy to skate into the second intermission with a 2-goal lead that they'll have to hold on to. They had a 2-goal lead in the second game against Bemidji State in the Slater Family Ice Arena. And then Bemidji scored 2 in a row in regulation and a third in overtime to take 2 points when they were poised to not even take 1. Riley Funk's kicked out of the circle, not happy. Casper Magnuson will step in, also a good face-off man. 20-point scorer as well. Riley Funk fans on his shot. The Falcons skated up with speed. Dom Ryman down the left wing. One of the best skaters on the ice at any given time is Dom Ryman, and he's just a freshman, only going to get better. Riley Funk up. McKinley pokes it ahead. Jaden Grant sweeps the puck back to his own guys. The orange and brown poke it up. Waters takes a check, but Corcoran stumbles more than Waters does. Corcoran, the deliverer of that check. Spun out of play was Magnuson awkwardly. Back up center ice. The Falcons with the puck in front of their own net. 25 seconds to go in the second. BG stretch pass up. Held inside the blue line. Good wrist shot by Hodson. He missed the rack. Karams back out to the blue line. Possessed by Stjernberg. Down into the corner. Playable for Hodson. He looks to center, but now elects to go out to the blue line. Shot in by Stjernberg. Deflected by Emerson. Stretch pass up. Bemidji tried to beat the Falcon defenseman. Here's Duran through the slot. Poked away by Hildebrand as time expired. McLennan had a chance at a breakaway at the end of the period. The Falcons stifle it, and they skate into the second intermission with a 2-0 lead. Ben Duran and Max Martin, both goal scorers here in the second period at the 5-minute and the 6:10 mark here in the middle frame. Waters, Sloan, McKinley, and Foe, the assists on those 2 assists. Burkett and Nate Hinners will talk about it back in Bowling Green and the Cooling Center studios. You're listening to your home for Falcon Hockey, WBGU 88.1 FM.
I need to file my tax return right the first time. How can I be sure to do that?
Doing your taxes yourself? Using e-file is the best way to file an accurate tax return. Mistakes can delay your refund, so spend an extra few minutes making sure you can file an accurate return the first time around. Avoid common errors by spelling all names correctly and using correct Social Security numbers. Double check your bank account numbers for direct deposit and double check your math too. Oh yeah, don't forget to sign and date your return.
BGSU men's basketball guard Javonte Campbell made a game-winning layup against Toledo with 1.6 seconds remaining on February 21st, 2025, giving BG their first win at Savage Arena since 2021. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call of the shot on Falcon Radio.
It's Campbell with the ball, driving inside, layup's no good, rebounded by Exact, the putback's no good. Johnson fights for it, it's kicked back out to Exact, inside to Campbell. Campbell puts the layup, it goes with 1.6 seconds remaining. Javonte Campbell with the huge shot, possible shot of the year for Bowling Green. They take the lead with 1.6 seconds remaining over Toledo, 69-68.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
If you served honorably in our nation's armed forces and you're looking for a way to continue serving your fellow veterans and your community, then join AMVETS. Each year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve the lives of their fellow veterans through the VA Voluntary Services Program. AMVETS posts and departments also participate in a wide variety of community service projects, ranging from Americanism in our schools to supporting the Special Olympics and Boy Scouts of America. Even if you no longer wear the uniform today, you can still serve through the AMVETS by joining today at amvets.org.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com and follow Falcon Media Sports Network at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with all of our content.
Welcome to the Falcon Media Sports Network second intermission report here on WBGU 88.1 FM. At the end of the second period, the Falcons lead the Bemidji State Beavers 2-0. The second intermission report is brought to you in memory of Marta Crow, Falcon hockey fanatic and avid Falcon hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM listener. So, Falcons, after that 0-0 end of the first period, are really starting to kind of gain some ground here. Nathan, what happened with that goal, with those two goals, to allow the Falcons, to get this kind of lead?
Well, it started with a power play for the Falcons. Ben Duran gets the puck down low, able to work it towards the center of the ice, shoot it in, and that's a goal, his fourth goal of the season, assisted by Brody Waters and Breck McKinley. And then about 2 minutes later, about a minute and 10 seconds later, Maxwell Martin gets a breakaway, takes a backhand, beats Hillebrand. He scores his first goal of the season. And that goal was assisted by Jake Sloan and Brett Foe to give the Falcons a 2-0 lead in this hockey game.
All right, coming up, we'll talk more about going into this third and final period, some ways maybe Bemidji State can try to grab maybe try to win the game, grab some points. We'll see. Also, how the Bowling Green can keep their lead. We'll talk about that coming up later on as well. Our Player of the Game watch discussion and what's going on around the CCHA. Keep it here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
I had this illness that really made me powerless over alcohol and that insisted that I got drunk. And so I got drunk. It doesn't have anything to do with trying to control it. An alcoholic who picks up the first drink will pick up the second drink. I can't say to anyone, no, don't drink. But I can say that when you decide you don't want to drink, come to AA. The door to AA is always open.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a
Falcon women's track and field heads to the Great Lakes State on Saturday, January 24th at noon to compete in the Bob Parks Memorial, hosted by Eastern Michigan at Bowen Field House in Ypsilanti, Michigan. head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Rugg.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
The BGSU volleyball team and head coach Alex Del Piombo have picked up 2 new players from the transfer portal this winter. Molly Beatty comes to BGSU from Central Michigan. Entering her sophomore season, the Indianapolis native played only 16 sets in MAC play for the Chippewas last season, but played well in her first half. Carly Molnow is transferring from Loyola Chicago, where she had 256 kills and was nominated to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team. Going into the second season under Coach Del Piombo, the Falcons hope these new transfers will help lighten the blow of losing 3 seniors after last year's 17-15 finish. This has been 60 Seconds and Falcon Athletics.
Welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network's second intermission report, brought to you in memory of Marta Crow, Falcon hockey fanatic and avid Falcon hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM listener. Here at the end of the second period, Bowling Green leading Bemidji State 2-0. And Nathan, going into this matchup this evening, we kind of expected the Falcons to be ahead. Going into this, the Falcons definitely had an advantage, and right now, still showing that. So what are some things the Falcons can do to keep that lead? And then for the Beavers side, some things they can do to try to chip away at the Falcons and maybe even win this matchup tonight.
For the Falcons, I would say keep getting good shot opportunities. Keep blocking shots. Right now they have 8 block shots being led by Brett Foe, who has 2. So keep being strong defensively, especially in the absence of their captain and one of their better defensive players, Dalton Norris. For Bemidji, even though Bowling Green was the one who scored those 2 goals in that period, it was actually Bemidji out shooting the Falcons in the period. They had 12 shots in that period to Bowling Green's 9. Overall, BG still leads the shots on goal battle 18-17, but they had a couple good opportunities. They outshot the Falcons in that period. They had a couple good opportunities, including 2 breakaway opportunities that were both shut down by Cole Moore. So you're creating good scoring chances. You're creating good number of chances. Keep it up. See what happens. Again, so far since in Coach Williams' tenure as the Bowling Green head coach, there's yet to be a single game for BGSU versus Bemidji that hasn't ended with a 1-goal differential at the end of the game.
All right, coming up, we will take a look at what's going on around the CCHA this evening. Some exciting games going on this evening. We'll get you an update. Some of those may have gone final. We'll see coming up. We'll also get our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game watch discussion. Some players, possibly, when we get into our post-game show here, some players who could be winning that this evening. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is Meyer Wohl. The junior forward led the team with 25 points in the win over Eastern Michigan on Saturday. The North Carolina native averaged 22.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game while shooting 53.3% from the field and 55.2% on three-pointers in the past 4 games. Wohl had 2 20-plus point games against Lemoyne and Bethany and is 4th in the MAC in three-point percentage with 47.4%. We've got a whole bag of tricks for him and will continue to grow that package of offensive plays for him. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
BGSU men's basketball travels 30 minutes north to battle the arch-rival Toledo Rockets in the first leg of the Battle of I-75 at Savage Arena on Saturday, January 24th at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network Tyler Cavalets, Artie Abrego, and Foster Rossi will have the call of the game, while Nate Henners and Sam Bork will start the action with a pregame show at 4:35 p.m. on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back. Nathan, talking about this game. Again, the Falcons leading the Beavers 2-0. Falcons ahead, of course. But again, a look at our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game watch. Some players you are watching on both teams. Who could be our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game this evening?
Right now, Cole Moore is still having a strong game. So far, he has made 17 saves. Yet to give up a goal so far. Also, other players to look out for the Falcons include their goal scorers, Ben Duran. He's very good usually against Bemidji. Maxwell Martin had a couple good opportunities, including scoring his first goal of the season. Currently leading the shots on goal is Jackson Niedermeyer. He might be able to take one of those goals. He's taken 4 so far and turn that into a goal opportunity. For Bemidji, so far, Nemestikov leads the team with 3 shots on goal. Liked how he's played so far.
All right, taking a look at what's going on around the CCHA this evening. Both other matchups going final. Michigan Tech Huskies have defeated the Northern Michigan Wildcats 8-2. So Northern Michigan was still able to score 2 goals, but yeah, Michigan Tech getting a big win tonight. Again, 8-2, the final score for the Huskies over the Wildcats. The other matchup we were watching that was pretty close at the first intermission, it was tied up 4-4, but St. Thomas has defeated Lake Superior State 7-4. So St. Thomas, really, I think it was at 4-1 with them down at one point. And they came back, scored 6 goals, and got a 7-4 win. Again, the Tommies over the Lakers, there. And then, of course, our matchup, the only game remaining in progress, BGSU up on Bemidji State 2-0. All right, coming up, we'll have your Falcon 4, or we'll talk more about the matchup as we start to get you ready for the third and final period here this evening. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces weekly short-form and long-form social media pieces for in-season sports all year long. Make sure to check out at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and at BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to view the content.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the Killeen Center at Bowling Green State University. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Wrapping things up for our second intermission report, it was brought to you in memory of Marta Crow, Falcon hockey fanatic and avid Falcon hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM listener. Nate Henners joined by Nathan Burkett here in the Killeen Center this evening. We'll talk to you guys again coming up for our post-match show, see how the Falcons and Beavers do here. By the way, you're listening to WBGU FM in Bowling Green, Ohio, but time now to send things back on out to Minnesota with Ben Korak for the third and final period. Hey Ben, how's the vibe up there?
2-goal lead for the Falcons currently as we head into this third period, and it looks like a pretty solid one, although if you hearken back to the second game between Bowling Green and Bemidji in the Slater Family Ice Arena, 2 power play goals were scored by Bemidji in the third period of a 2-0 Bowling Green lead to tie the game, force overtime, and then about 3 minutes in, Hudson Thornton with the overtime winner, assisted by Oliver Peer. The only saving grace for the Falcons, Oliver Peer is not playing today, assumedly for an injury. He assisted those 2 final goals, including scoring the power play goal, the first in the third period that brought it to a 2-1 game. So at least a piece of that comeback is missing from Bemidji today, but they'll try and put that back together. They at 7-6-3 overall are looking to hold on to their winning record in CCHA play. The Falcons with a 9-4-3 record can get their 10-win conference season today against Bemidji, heading into tomorrow's match against the Beavers. That game at 6:07 time here in Central Time. I forgot we're in Central Time. It'll be 7:07 Eastern Time, so make sure to tune into this station, WBGU 88.1 FM, for the call of that game tomorrow. About 30 seconds expired. The puck back into the Bowling Green end. Crampton's pass is intercepted by Flemang. He takes it up through center. Good move. Flemang's tossed down to the ice. Colmore will shut off the puck with nobody really near him, but he just wanted to blow it dead. Flemang was really shoved down to the ice pretty hard there. He was going a 1-on-3 and didn't have too much of an angle on Colmore. Not a big rush there. Update on our Falcon Media Sports Network Pick the Stick. Lucas Kleinmeyer chose Quinn Emerson, who doesn't have a point. Tyler Cavlich chose Jaden Grant, who doesn't have a point. Nick Windholtz, who chose today for the Falcon Media Sports Network, the field of the group, chose Ty Higgins. He also does not have a point. And myself, the only point scorer today, 2 points for Ben Duran's power play goal. Up the right wing, Brody Waters pressed into the corner. He's knocked down to the ice, and the puck back up to the blue line. Won't arrive to McKinley. Is picked off by McLean. McLean's last name is spelled McLean, C-L-E-A-N, but pronounced McLean, wearing number 27 as the second line center. 12 points on 5 goals and 7 assists in his third season with Bemidji State. Puck on the left wing corner. He pins it up. It's out to the blue line. The defenseman Vieg plays it to Perek behind the goal line, switched out by Simonovic, and then taken away by the Falcons. They try and clear it down. They're able to do so, but just out to center slowly. It's fired back in by Perek as he and Vieg will go for a change. Simonovic goes for a check, forces the puck free. Chasing it into the corner is Stjernberg. Up out of their own zone, Jake Sloan, who's assisted on Max Martin's goal in the second period. A nice outlet pass to set up Martin on the one-on-one opportunity, and he fell backhanded, well defended by Hudson Thornton. A very nice shot for his first goal of the season for Max Martin. Back down to the Bemidji State end, Hudson Thornton retrieves, playing with Mitch Wolf. Thornton 13 points on 11 assists. Mitch Wolf 6 points on 2 goals and 4 assists. Faceoff is going to be put in center. Looks like maybe a penalty is upcoming to Bemidji. Penalty is upcoming to Bemidji. We're going to go on a power play. Kirkland Irie is going to be sent off for 2. Boarding against Kirkland Irie. And now the Falcons will go on to another power play. They had only one other one. I'm sorry, they had 2. And one was scored on by Ben Duran, assisted by Brody Waters and Breck McKinley. McKinley, Stjernberg back on defense. Hodson and Duran and Waters all up as forwards for the Falcons in the 5-on-4 for the next 2. 17:50 to go in the third period. The Falcons with a 2-0 lead. They really like to jump out to a 3-goal lead here as this puck is kept inside the blue line by McKinley. Now the Falcons gather at center ice. Riley Funk threatening a shorthanded breakaway as he poked it through Breck McKinley, who tried to hold it in the blue line, but he was pushed out, and then the puck was dropped down. Gaining the entry, Tyler Hodson down the left wing. Open ice with speed. He gets it back up to the blue line. Intercepted by McKinley, and it's pushed wide. Riley Funk going for the puck now. Another shorthanded chance. He takes it down the left wing. Funk into the chest of Colmore, and he's able to hold on. The junior goaltender standing tall, that shorthanded chance. We get a drop in the Bowling Green defensive zone. 30 seconds expired, and Falcons haven't set up any offense yet. A new unit out there for the Falcons. Ty Higgins, Braden Crampton on the back line. Two freshman defensemen are going to have huge offensive upsides, especially as they go forward. Already had this season. Crampton's scoring has dried up a bit. Ty Higgins, point per game coming into today. Still needs an assist to hold on to that. He's 6 points in 6 games. Today's his 7th game played. Dom Ryman working down. Good pass out to the left wing. Doesn't land through the slot. And Higgins couldn't hold it inside the blue line. He'll have to scamper back. Emerson, Grant, and Dom Ryman, the forwards. Two defensemen back, Higgins and Crampton. Higgins leaves it back. Taking the entry is Ryman. He gets it out to Crampton. Up to Emerson on the right wing. Emerson poked down behind the goal line. Ryman looked to get it to open ice. Riley Funk intercepts it. He takes it up, feeds it up, ices it down. 16:30 to go in the third period. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Falcons have yet to even get a shot off on this man advantage. Higgins up the right wing. Ben Duran forces it down behind the goal line. Played there by Waters. He looks to center it. It's intercepted and cleared down again. Defensive recovery by Mitch Wolf. McKinley with 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Drop pass back. Duran playing with Hodson. Up to Sternberg. He tips it ahead on the backhand. Duran behind the goal line, south of the net. Vieg looks to clear it on the weak side blue line, and he's able to do so. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Not even a shot on goal on this power play for the Falcons. McKinley behind his own net. Time expired. Out of the box comes Kirkland Irie. He'll skate right onto the bench and get Nemesnikov on the ice. Corcoran up to the right wing. McLennan gets it into McLean, and it misses his stick just long. Now the Falcons coming the other way. Max Martin up to the left wing. Jackson Niedermeyer, he looks to feed it in, and it's blocked and held on the skates of Niedermeyer by Corcoran on good defense. On the right wing against the half wall, Sloan lifts it up in the air over the head of the defender. Martin centers it. Foe looks to get there, and it's picked off by Bemidji. Into the corner, the Beavers chase. Crampton will get there first, the defenseman for the Falcons. The freshman takes it up outside of his own blue line. Crampton started the season hot, has no goals since November 1st, though. That goal was against Bemidji State. He had the second goal of the second Bemidji State game and made it a 2-0 game. And then, as I mentioned at the start of this frame, 5 minutes ago now of gameplay, Bemidji came all the way back, 3 goals in a row to win in overtime. Puck pinned up behind the goal. Connor Levis works it free. Why not? And Levis in the right wing corner. Why not? Back down to Levis. Played behind the goal line by Luke Roloffs. Roloffs, a sophomore defenseman. 4 assists this season, only 1 goal. Puck held inside the blue line. Slap shot in. Big traffic in front. 4 bodies. And it's blocked, and Bemidji State takes it out of danger. Didn't see exactly who blocked the puck, but there was 2 Falcons and 2 Beavers that were getting tied up. Puck picked off. Offsides are going to be the Beavers, so Falcons get clean possession in their own zone. Sternberg up, takes a check, puck away. Fleming went for that bump. Sneaky large player, plays bigger than he is as Adam Fleming, and he's still 6 foot and about 190 pounds. Ryman pushes it in on sides, but the touch is going to go to Bemidji anyway. Waters to Grant. Grant feeds it in. The goal leader for the Falcons. A nice pass from behind the goal line by Waters to connect with Grant, but he couldn't beat Hildebrand for the 3rd time today. 2-0. The Falcons still lead. Both goals in the second frame. Really nice for Bowling Green to add another and make the lead pretty much unreachable for Bemidji. They did have problems with the 6-on-5 last year in this building. Bemidji State scoring 2 goals and the 6-on-5 last year to tie the game up, force overtime, and then ended up with the overtime winner. That was, again, as I said, in this building. A 2-1 loss in overtime the second night and a 3-2 loss in regulation the first night, and 3 goals that weekend scored with the 6-on-5 at the end of the game with the empty net. Duran goes for a check. Emerson, he's spun out of the play. Takes the stick with him, but it doesn't matter. Riley Funk gets it ahead. The pass is broken up by Ben Duran as he skates back on defense as stick with the long end on the ice. Working in, slap shot, scores! Max Wieg, his 5th of the season, his 6th point, and is back up to a 1-goal game, 2-1. He worked in, the forward didn't pick him up soon enough. Colmore was looking to his left and then was just beat. A nice play, a great shot by the freshman defenseman Max Wieg. His 5th goal of the season, and it's brought back to within 1. So the Falcons, who had a pretty solid lead coming into this period, it's back up to a pretty even game. Crampton fires it into the corner. It's off the half wall and retrieved by Satisari. Now the energy looks like going toward Bemidji. They have the puck in their own end, looking to put together some more offense. Puck turned over. Max Martin with a good play. Sloan, his shot just saved by Hildebrand. He caught that with just a couple of stitches and kicked it down behind the half wall. Bounced back up to him and he gloves. A nice play on the forecheck by Max Martin to work the puck free, and a better shot by Sloan, who's looking for his 2nd point of the game. Jackson Panzer and Casper Magnuson, the 2 assists. In the dot to the left of Hildebrand, Connor Levis going for the drop along with Minville and Wynot. Higgins and McKinley back at the blue line for Bowling Green. Higgins with a couple of steps up on the blue line. McKinley a little bit further back. Face-off one for the Falcons. Minville, a shot through traffic, doesn't get through. Silvestri pokes the puck outside of his own blue line to try and get it out of danger and get the Falcons back on sides. Here's Hildebrand. Why not working in on the forecheck? Silvestri up ahead to Kirkland Irie down the right wing. Irie's bumped. He sweeps it over toward the slot. It's carrying back out to the blue line. Bemidji State still possession. Mitch Wolf the shot in. The Falcons off the glass and out to center. Nothing going for Bowling Green. 3 shots on goal for Bemidji. 2 for Bowling Green. But the possession has gone all the way at Bemidji. Good move. Irie shooting, looking for his first, and a save made by Moore. It's cleared down by the Falcons. Bowling Green with a lot of pressure on them, just looking to get the puck away from danger, and they haven't had pretty much any offensive time in this 3rd period. 11:35 to go in the 3rd. 2-1. Bowling Green leads. 2 goals in the 2nd period. The most recent, Bemidji's Max Wieg, just a couple of minutes ago. Dom Ryman, he gets the puck poked away. It's in the corner as he lost sight of it. Waters back up to the blue line. McKinley slap shot, doorstep. Dom Ryman, his shot, and it's blocked and onto the glass. Karam's out to the left wing side. Behind the goal line, pass into the slot. McKinley leaves it for Niedermeyer. Slap shot, Dom Ryman fires it wide right, and it's back into the Bowling Green end as it rings around the curved glass. 11 minutes to go in the 3rd period, 2-1. Bowling Green leads Bemidji. Emerson behind the goal line. Hodson there to sweep it to Duran, but didn't get control enough of the puck to get the pass off. Back in his own end, Bemidji fires it up. Magnuson from Corcoran. Hodson pokes it back in. Now the Falcons with some clear offensive tries as they have got the puck in the offensive side of the ice pretty consistently now. Back up Adam Fleming, south of the goal line. Pass across the slot on the back door was Corcoran, but it won't land to him. Corcoran now the shot in. Magnuson to clean it up. Too many bodies in front. It won't fly through. In the left wing corner, Bemidji in the offensive zone again. Duran, some physicality being going around here. In the corner especially, the puck pinned up and bodies being thrown back and forth. Duran lost his stick. He goes over toward the bench, goes for a change, and a new Falcon forward on. It's Emerson. In the slot, the puck still pinned up, but visible to the referee who sees it there in the left wing corner. Time still wasting. 9:45 to go in the 3rd period. 2-1 the Falcons lead. Shots on goal now led by the Beavers, 22-21. And total shots, 49-45. Only stat they trail in offensively is goals. Here's a pass in, blocked by Sloan out the blue line. He gets taps from his teammates in front of his own bench. Satisari the shot in. Cole Moore saves with his left leg into the corner. The puck hits a stick on its way around to the defenseman, and it's picked off that bad bounce by Jackson Panzer. Panzer in the corner, pinned up by Simonovic. Back up to the blue line, held in by Roloffs. Roloffs the shot, blocked down at the feet of Max Martin. He lost sight of the puck for a second. Rinks it around, open ice, right wing side. Hudson Thornton has to range in from the blue line and make the play. He plays it out to Panzer on the right wing side. Under 9 minutes to go in the third period, a 1-goal game. Mitch Wolf back up to Torrey Lund, blue line. Pass up to the defenseman. Thornton down to Torrey Lund, left wing side, fed in toward Cole Moore. It's cleared away by the Falcons. And we're going to get a whistle, a stoppage of play. That'll bring us to our media timeout here in the third period. 8:39 to go in the final frame of regulation. This timeout brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Puck out of play, the Falcons lead 2-1. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com and follow Falcon Media Sports Network at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with all of our content.
You are tuned into live BGSU hockey coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
The game within one, the Falcons heading into this third period with a 2-0 lead, and Max Wieg makes it a 1-goal game again. His 5th goal of the season, assisted by Jackson Panzer, his 4th assist of the season, and Casper Magnuson, his 13th assist of the season. And the Falcons now in a much tighter game than it felt coming into the period. A shot on goal battle being won by Bemidji by 3 now. And they have taken the puck in the offensive zone and been confident with it for the majority of this third period. We're over halfway through. And even if the Falcons can get into the final couple of minutes, there's the 6-on-5 that Bemidji has success against the Falcons in that 6-on-5. Did so last year in the same building. Poked ahead. Ryman has to wait for his guys to get on sides. He does so. Grant goes on the forecheck now with Ryman out at center ice. Thornton feeds it up. Funk pokes it ahead. Stjernberg will get there first. To Korodiak, extra skating today. He and Simonovic have been in and out of the lineup as the extra skater, but the injury to Dalton Norris means they're going to need a little bit more ice time to fulfill the 6th defenseman in the lineup for Bowling Green, and obviously the 7th extra skater. Both of them will probably see a lot of time until and if Norris is back. Higgins tries to keep the puck at center, but it skates between his legs, and McKinley will have to gather behind his own net. Under 8 to go in the third period. 2-1, the Falcons lead. Stretch pass up. Brett Foe with the puck. Stays on sides, gets it poked away, and now Bemidji comes with numbers the other way. Gives it up to McLean. McLean to feed it in. His pass is blocked by McKinley. Up to the left wing side. Max Martin, he's been on the forehand of a lot of these. Swept away by Hildebrand. His pass toward Foe was just a bit long and playable for the goaltender. Off the glass, up in the air, down to the BGN. Niedermeyer will skate forward, back into his own zone, gather the puck. Stjernberg, 2 guys converging in on him, Silvestri and Nemesnikov. A hand pass against Bowling Green. 7:11 to go in the third period. Faceoff is going to come into the Bemidji State end, as the hand pass was against Bemidji, not against Bowling Green. Ben Duran into the circle. Tyler Hodson and Quinn Emerson up with him. Crampton and McKinley back at the blue line. Emerson circles behind the goal line. Poked by Perek. Emerson to backhand pass to Hodson. Hodson got it on the right wing side. High slot Duran. 3 defenders there tie him up. He gets the puck away to the blue line. Crampton. Bemidji converging on the Falcons quickly. They're able to get so quick. Here's Duran looking for 2. Puck dancing on the blue paint. And it's taken away by Silvestri. Puck was there. Nobody to clean it up. Only one man in front of the blue paint for the Falcons. Silvestri chases the puck into the offensive zone. McKinley on the left wing side. He's battling for the puck along with Van Uhas. Uhas gets it away. Blue line shot in by Mitch Wolf from the right wing blue line. And it caroms into the corner and then cleared out to center ice by Bowling Green. Bemidji still with the puck though. Silvestri fires it in and Colmore stops the puck behind his own net. Moore with 23 saves, 1 goal allowed. That's Max Vieg's wrist shot from above the right wing wheel. Jeremy Minville battles in here toward Max Hildebrand. 20 saves, 2 goals allowed, a .909 save percentage for the freshman. Puck out from the corner. Kirkland Irie up the right wing. Torrey Lund working in. Backhand save by Cole Moore. Lund down the right wing. His handedness took him to a bad shot attempt, although it was a nice shot for a backhand. An icing against Bemidji. They thought the Falcons played it in center, but it's going to come down to the other end and tired legs for the Beavers. 5:40 to go in the third period. Jaden Grant in for the faceoff. He takes a lot of these in clutch time situations, and this is one of those. Falcons 31-22 on faceoffs won today. Grant 11-4. Only one Falcon and the negative faceoff winning percentage. That's Jake Sloan, and he's only by 2 faceoffs. He's still got a +1 rating with an assist today. He's had a very good game, as has Max Martin, not only with the goal, but a +1 rating, has a block too. Higgins works in. His shot blocked. Jackson Panzer, as Higgins tried to force it through about 5 or 6 bodies that were there in front of the rack. Vieg down the left wing side. He moves in. His shot goes wide left of the cage. Moore never even gets a stitch on it. Funk behind the goal line. Looks to distribute the puck. He tries to fling it to center. Casper Magnuson battling for position there. He leaves that center slot area and goes and gets the puck out to the blue line. Now he recenters himself. Vieg shot in, dropped down on the slot, taken away by the Falcons. Dom Ryman up the right wing. Waters will not go with him. He'll peel off to the bench. Ryman getting his guys a change. Good spin move down to the goal line. Riley Funk stops the puck in the corner. Magnuson with him. Bemidji will have a longer shift here if the Falcons can get it in the offensive zone. It's back into the Falcon end, and getting a change are the Beavers. Jake Sloan up the right wing. He works in, tries to leave it back to Max Martin, but he's bumped by Corcoran into the corner. McLean dropped down to the ice, the puck by his feet. Now up through center ice, McLean makes a move to the left side, loses control of the puck. Niedermeyer steers him into the corner to clear it out to the blue line. Won't land, Falcons pick it off. The orange and brown lose the puck back again to McLennan. Puck still center ice, McLennan offside, so Bemidji has to circle and loses the puck because of it. 4 minutes to go in the third period, 2-1, the Falcons lead. Puck off of a couple of sticks, and it's up and out of play. We're going to get a face-off, I think, directly in center ice. It's been a pretty even game. Under head coach Dennis Williams, the Falcons have played the Beavers 6 times. All of them have been one-score games, and 5 of them have gone to overtime. The only one that didn't was a Falcon win, 3-2 in the Slater Family Ice Arena last year. Silvestri the shot. McKinley on the half. Back to Crampton behind the goal line. Crampton with the puck. His outlet pass almost picked off and turned over in the offensive zone for Bemidji. That was by Silvestri. Irie defeated to Silvestri. A bit long for him and perfect for McKinley. McKinley out to center ice, intercepted by Hudson Thornton. The defenseman can't hold on to the puck. Back down, the Falcons with it in their own zone. 3:30 left to go in the third period. A goal lead for the Falcons. Ben Duran up the right wing. He's checked down to the ice from the back. Duran, his pass to the slot. Hobbling away from the puck without it is Hodson. Flameng leaves it back. Ranging in was Magnuson. He would have had speed, but the pass just wide of him. Flameng's tossed down to the ice up to center. Waters tips it ahead. Intercepted by Mitch Wolf. Shortening the bench quite a bit is Bemidji. They're down to 2 lines of defensemen and just a couple of lines of forwards. Flameng, his shot, rebound chance. Vig looking for his second, and it's saved. Down back behind the net. Stjernberg battling for position of the puck, and he got it. 2:40 to go in the third period. A goal lead still. Corcoran blows a tire. Waters up down the right wing. Hodson will peel off, go to the bench. Waters to move it into the slot. Still battling for the puck. Cleared away. Magnuson up the right wing now for Bemidji. 2:20 to go in the third period. Falcons with a 1-goal lead, looking for their 10th win of the season. Bemidji looking to keep a winning record in CCHA play that they're threatening of dropping. Pass to the slot was nice to Nemesnikov, just a bit behind. That was a good idea, and if it landed, would have been an easy beat for Cole Moore as he was left on an island. 2 minutes to go in the third period. Puck in the right wing corner. Soon Hildebrand will leave the crease, go to the bench. That'll be in about 30 seconds if Bemidji can get the puck offensively. Hildebrand looking over to the bench, and Tom Saratori. Puck down in the offensive zone. The Falcons will get there first. Hildebrand has not left the net yet. 1:45 to go in the third period. Puck out to neutral ice. Thornton forces it up. Shot down behind the half wall. Stjernberg takes the puck behind his net. He's forced out by McLennan. BG the pass up to neutral ice. Off of Max Martin's stick into the Falcon bench, and we're going to get a puck drop in neutral ice. 1:30 exactly to go in the third period. 2-1 the Falcons lead, and the Beaver goaltender has not yet left the net. We have a face-off in neutral ice, not in the offensive zone for the Beavers. And we have a timeout taken, and Tom Saratori is going to talk this over. 1:31 to go in the third period. 2-1 the Falcons lead. Juniper Brewing Company timeout, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green. Give them a visit in person or their website at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
After a 12-0 start to the season, the best start in over 50 years, the BGSU Falcons swim and dive team saw their first loss of the season on Friday, January 16th against the Ohio Bobcats. For the Falcons, Natalia Mayorga led the team in diving, Caroline Toledo got second in the 1,000-yard freestyle, and Grace Bodrock got second in the 200 butterfly. However, such great performances were not enough from the Falcons to overpower the Bobcats, losing 56-244. That was a rough one for us, but OU is a top program in the MAC, head coach Tanner Barton said. The Bobcats finished third in the MAC championship last year. In their next match, a duel versus Marshall and Duquesne, the Falcons saw 2 more losses, dropping 101.5 to 139.5 to Duquesne and 105 to 136 to Marshall. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Check out the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
2-1 the lead for the Falcons, looking for 3 points in the CCHA. Bemidji looking to at least tie it up in the last minute and a half. Hildebrand still in the net for the Beavers. The Falcons win a must-win draw. Stjernberg flips it up back into the Bemidji end, so the Falcons will chase the puck. Emerson looked like he might have got there first, but it's whistled off as an icing. Thankfully out of the timeout, the Falcons with fresh legs, but that would have been nice to keep it in the offensive zone and is going to allow an opportunity for Hildebrand to leave the net. And Bemidji's going to get an ozone faceoff. So 1:24 to go in the third period. An extra man on the ice. Riley Funk in the dot against Jaden Grant. Both men jumped. We're going to get a redropped puck. The linesman Ben Golick finally drops the puck. It's lifted out to center ice by the Falcons. Not enough legs to get over into the net, so Thornton will get to the puck first. Brody Waters on the forecheck. 6 skaters for Bemidji, 5 for the Falcons. Nemesnikov with the puck back in his own zone. 1:05 to go in the third period. The Falcons lead 1. Magnuson up to the right wing. McLennan fires it in. Sternberg will get there first. Riley Funk, another big body, will bump him against the boards. Falcons with the puck against the half wall. Funk turns it back over. Clear ice to the left wing side. Moved out to center. Picked off by Thornton before it could get to the empty net, but not a shot on goal anyway. 40 seconds to go in the third period. Still a 1-goal lead for the Falcons. Magnuson with the puck, right wing side, forced back out to the blue line, cleared away by the Falcons. Duran tips it up, and Bemidji still with the puck. The pass from center ice by Flameng off of the Falcons' stick, but the faceoff is going to come back out to center and on the Bemidji State side of the neutral zone. So the referees are going to talk about this. With 30 seconds left and Bemidji State down 1, Hildebrand can't go back out to the crease, really. So they're just going to hope Riley Funk can win a faceoff. Niedermeyer and Sternberg will reset themselves. Nemesnikov way on the boards on the left side, on the very weak side. That's why the defenseman shifted over. Puck into the offensive zone, kicked back out to center by the Falcons. 20 seconds to go in the third. A goal lead by Bowling Green. Nemesnikov, he's poked. Out to center ice. Ben Duran makes a move, shoots at the empty net, and he scores! Ben Duran ices the game. 3-1. The Falcons lead with 11.5 seconds to go in the third period. And now the Beaver fans will start to fire out. The Falcons with 3 points to the CCHA. Much needed 3. Matching the 3 of Michigan Tech and St. Thomas, who both got wins today. So after a couple of extra man goals were scored last year in this building against the Falcons to drop points, would have been much needed toward the end of the season. Bowling Green's able to remedy that today with an empty net goal and able to ice the game away. The horn sounds with the puck back into the Bowling Green end. Colmore with a heck of a game as well. He's at a stretch and a half, Colmore has. 1 goal allowed, 26 saves, and a .963 save percentage. He gets a win today, and Bowling Green takes 3 points toward the CCHA. 10-4-3 is the Falcons' record in conference play. 13-6-4 now overall are the Falcons. They drop puck again tomorrow in this building. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Bill and Karen Hoffert, stars of the game coming up. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you served honorably in our nation's armed forces and you're looking for a way to continue serving your fellow veterans in your community, then join AMVETS. Each year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve the lives of their fellow veterans through the VA Voluntary Services Program. AMVETS posts and departments also participate in a wide variety of community service projects, ranging from Americanism in our schools to supporting the Special Olympics and Boy Scouts of America. If you no longer wear the uniform today, you can still serve through the AMVETS by joining today at amvets.org.
BGSU men's basketball travels 30 minutes north to battle the arch-rival Toledo Rockets in the first leg of the Battle of I-75 at Savage Arena on Saturday, January 24th at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network Tyler Cavaletz, Artie Abrego, and Foster Rossai will have the call of the game, while Nate Henners and Sam Bork will start the action with the pregame show at 4:35 p.m. on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Back here in the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. Ben Crock here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Bill and Karen Hoffert, longtime BGSU hockey fans, Falcon Club members, and sponsors of our Stars of the Game. For the 5th game in a row, we're going to have a goaltender as our first star of the game. Cole Moore today, 1 goal allowed. He stood tall through a bunch of shots, 26, and earned himself a .963 save percentage. Cole Moore has been on a fantastic stretch, has earned himself his 4th win of the season, and all since the turn of the new year. Ben Duran, the second star of the game, 2 goals, 1 on an empty net, 1 on a power play. That was the game opening goal, assisted by Brody Waters and Breck McKinley. He, the second star of the game. And Max Martin, the third star of the game, had the what stood as the game-winning goal, assisted by Jake Sloan and Brett Foe. His first goal of the season, but even besides that, played some very nice shifts today, was a breakout monster for Bowling Green today, and most likely earned his way back into the lineup tomorrow. A +1 rating for Max Martin today as well. Those are the stars of the game. Cole Moore, the first star, Ben Duran, the second star, and Max Martin, the third star, the Bill and Karen Hoffert stars of the game. Quick scoring rundown. Ben Duran and Max Martin both scored in the second period. Ben Duran at the 5-minute mark, assisted by Waters McKinley. Max Martin's first of the season at the 6:10 mark in the second period, assisted by Sloan and Brett Foe. Then in the third period, Max Vieg with his 5th goal of the season, the only goal for Bemidji State today, assisted by Jackson Panzer and Casper Magnuson, made it a tight game until the 19-minute and 49-second mark. Ben Duran, after a faceoff, won with his 5th goal of the season, his 2nd goal of the night, and an empty net goal, icing the game and winning the game for the Falcons 3-1. A lower scoring affair than what's gone on the rest of the CCHA. Nate Hinners and Nathan Burkett will walk you through what went on in the CCHA, what's going to go on in Bowling Green Athletics, as they walk you through the post-game show here for Falcon Hockey. So from myself in Bemidji, Minnesota, I'll say talk to you tomorrow, and we'll send it back to Nate and Nathan back in the Cooling Center studios. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
After losing their first 3 matches of the season in a row, Falcon Women's Swim and Dive seeks to bounce back and get back in the win column as they compete in the Butler Invitational at Fishers High School in Fishers, Indiana on Sunday, January 25th at noon. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the meet by Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin.
Millions of people all over the world go hungry, while we waste our land and water resources. Did you know that raising animals for human consumption uses 8 times as much water as growing fruits, vegetables, and grains? And that the same amount of land can produce 17 times more soybean protein than meat protein? For great vegetarian recipes, write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's PETA, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
All right, welcome into our Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show. The Falcons getting a good win tonight over the Bemidji State Beavers. 3-1 the final score tonight. Nathan, end of first period, we were tied up 0-0. Second period, Falcons up 2-0. That final period there, Bemidji was able to score 1. The Falcons were able to score 1 too, so the Falcons, again, getting a 3-1 win. But really, what happened with those goals? And, what was kind of your feeling about the matchup tonight?
Well, for the first time since Coach Woolley has taken over the helm of this Falcon hockey team, a game between Bemidji State and the Falcons does not end in a one-goal differential. It ends with a 2-goal differential in favor of the Falcons, who, again, win this game 3-1. Ben Duran scored the first goal of the game on the power play, took a shot from basically the blue paint. Then Maximo Martin getting his first goal of the season on a breakaway off the backhand shot that beat Hillebrand. Max Vieg gets the goal for Bemidji State in the third period, their only goal of the game. Shot from the slot/point-ish area. And then Ben Duran, a shot from the neutral zone into the empty net, puts the game away for the Falcons, who will skate away with a 3-1 victory and 3 points towards the CCHA standings.
All right, coming up, we will have our Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game. We'll also get a final check of the scores going on around the CCHA this weekend, plus tell you about our Falcon Media Sports Network coverage coming up this weekend. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Falcon Media Sports Network postgame show on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bowling Green Women's Basketball hosts Akron at the Stroh Center on Wednesday, January 28th at 7 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Trey Kennedy and Carter Leonard will have the call on WBGU 88.1 FM with Sam Borick and PJ Aubrey hosting the pregame, halftime, and postgame show for the matchup starting at 6:35 p.m.
Welcome back to our Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show tonight. Nathan, an exciting night for the Falcons, but who is our Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game?
Well, during the Bill and Karen Hoffert 3 stars of the game, Ben Korak gave the first star over to Cole Moore, who finished the game with a very respectable .963 save percentage. However, for the Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game, I personally am going to give it to Ben Duran, who finished the game with 2 goals, including a power play goal and 4 shots on goal in the game.
All right. Getting a check of what else is going on around the CCHA. Because of our extra hour tonight, or our hour late compared to the rest of the games tonight, we had actually our final scores in the second intermission report, but in case you missed it, the St. Thomas Tommies defeated the Lake Superior State Lakers 7-4, and the Michigan Tech Huskies defeated the Northern Michigan Wildcats 8-2, and then, of course, the Bowling Green Falcons defeated the Bemidji State Beavers 3-1. Taking a look at what's coming up around Falcon Athletics this weekend. Of course, more hockey coming your way tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's game will be at 7:07 our time, 6:07 Central Time. So that's what will be on tomorrow night here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Besides that, though, both men's and women's basketball plays tomorrow. First, women's basketball is up at UMass. The game was originally supposed to be on Sunday, got moved to tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. due to the incoming winter storm. So you can catch that game tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Falcon Radio. And then for men's basketball, they got battled by 75 coming up tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So yeah, women's 10:35 pregame, 11 o'clock tip-off against UMass. Men's 4:35 pregame, 5 o'clock tip-off against Toledo. And you can catch both basketball games on Falcon Radio. Falcon Radio streaming on BGFalconmedia.com. And then, of course, again, hockey coming up tomorrow night. 7:07 puck drop pregame around 6:40 on WBGU 88.1 FM. Besides that, women's tennis is canceled. Women's track still scheduled to be in action tomorrow up in Ypsilanti. We'll have a recap of that. And then, yeah, on Sunday, women's tennis was supposed to go, gymnastics was supposed to go, but both of those have been canceled. So, yeah, the weather really impacting things this weekend athletic-wise. But if you just live in the area or really live almost anywhere in the country this weekend, you're going to get some weather. Our forecast in Bowling Green for tonight, partly cloudy, low around -6. Wind chill values as low as -13 tonight. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high near 9 degrees. Wind chill values as low as -6 tomorrow. So, we're going to be leaving here in a few minutes. Got to make sure you're wearing a coat, gloves, I don't know what else. But just be sure to stay safe and stay warm out there. And, yeah, if you do all that, we will talk to you guys again tomorrow. So, yeah, have a great evening. And, again, stay warm, stay safe. And you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.